Well, hello, and we are heading into our final segment. It's our speed run of Super Mario RPG with Moonblazewolf. Moonblazewolf, hello.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Good to be back. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and do this again for the community and for the cause. So thanks for having me.
We're so happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about speedrunning Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, for sure. If anybody hasn't seen the speedrun before, I know some folks probably have because it was the finale of the most recent Games Done Quick event, which was a fantastic run. Definitely go check it out. But it is a pretty straightforward run of the game. So if you play this game casually, I'm not going to do much different than what you probably did in your casual playthrough. I'll just do it a bit faster because I've practiced and studied and learned the best way to get through most of the fights. So there's one or two cool speedrunner things. I like to generally just refer to anything in speedrunning that's sort of neat, and I'll definitely call those out when I get to those. But overall, it's going to be probably roughly 3 hours, maybe a little less than 3 hours, to just play through the whole game and talk about it and explain some cool stuff that you can do with the game and just sort of talk about some of the different things that the systems in the game and why I like it and things like that. It's one of my favorite games to speedrun. So it does have a fairly long intro, so I think I can go ahead and just jump in. I am going to go ahead and play on the breezy difficulty, by the way. That's kind of like my category that I play more so than the normal difficulty. All you really need to know about breezy is enemies have about 10% less hit points. You get a little more experience in certain encounters, and you aren't limited in carrying items like rock candies and things like that. But everything on like the overworld map, which in my opinion is what is really challenging about this game, is exactly the same. So they say it's breezy difficulty. I don't know. It's still, at least from a speedrun perspective, it's still fairly difficult. So, but yeah, let me go ahead and get it started. I got a little timer up on my screen, and I hope everybody enjoys. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh,
And
We
we're
do
into
need to
it.
state at the beginning here, there is also a new donation incentive that has arrived. Beyond, obviously, the Sakaguchi quest is our new 20K goal, if we manage to get there. But we do have a poll live on the landing page of our Tiltify. If you go there right now, we'll put the donate link into the chat. Somebody already beat us to it. You can vote on who gets a kiss at the wedding scene.
hey.
We have Bowser, we have Booster, and we have Peach. So whoever you think should get a little kiss at the wedding scene from this stanced up little plumber right here, y'all's
We
decision.
all know the correct answer.
It's
I mean-
Booster.
I'm not.
Everybody say the
I'm
correct
gonna-
answer on 3. 1, no.
I'm going to put my thumb on the scale and say, obviously, it's Bowser. I mean, Mario and Bowser have had a complicated and fraught romantic relationship full of sexual tension since the mid 1980s. So, just look at Mario Odyssey. Holy cow.
Yeah, that one, yeah. That is really the ultimate expression of that there. I will say Bowser is my favorite. However, I will, if anybody here has listened to the Pantheon episode of the original Super Mario RPG, you know that there is a wonderful, wonderful segment, and the phrase "Where's Booster?" came from that. And honestly, that episode gave me a newfound appreciation of Booster. So, if anybody wants to have me kiss Booster, you can certainly do that as well.
Boost Smooch. Think
The Boost
about
Smooch.
it.
It's
The
true.
Boost Smooch.
Yeah, that's actually the name of my split when I'm running the game with my full timer. Is it because I am gonna fight Booster later, and it just says "Where's Booster?" So you all have contributed to the lore of the speedrun, in my opinion. So
I have to say, this is really bringing the nostalgia feels for me. When I played Mario RPG, it had just come out, and actually, we more or less speedrun it in a single night. So,
yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite original SNES RPGs too, and the speedrun is notorious for a couple different things, I would say. But on top of that, I think for a lot of people, it was kind of like one of their first RPGs that they played if they were young and impressionable at the time in the mid to late 90s when this came out, and I think it's a great first RPG for a lot of people. And I would say the same thing about the Switch version as well. It's just it's got so much going for it in that regard. Some of the systems have changed, but the gameplay and the script for the most part is all pretty much the same. So a lot of the same humor, a lot of the nostalgia. The music is still amazing, got a little bit of a glow up, or if you want to, you can go back to the original SNES soundtrack as well. So
They did a really good job with it, I have to say.
Mhm.
So, what is kind of your main goal for the next segment?
So the first thing I'm going to be doing is getting through a bunch of tutorials, honestly, more than anything else. There's a couple parts that are important. I'm going to be collecting some coins in Mushroom Way to make a couple purchases at the first shop in Mushroom Kingdom. And then the first kind of really interesting part of the run, I would say, is when I get to Bandit's Way and I'm chasing Croco. There is an XP star there that I really want to get the correct number of kills off of that XP star because it kind of sets up my experience route for the rest of the run. If I don't get it, it's not a big deal, but it's one of those first couple moments of the game that I would say is pretty important on the whole. So
Okay, well, we're moving into the game properly.
hmm
Lancehart wanted to know, isn't there a Bowser and Booster smooch too?
so Bowser and Booster smooch if you kiss Peach. So you can't
Oh.
simultaneously kiss both of them. At least as far as I know. That sounds like a little bit of an urban legend. So
Well, I'm here for supporting Polly as well as trans rights here. And Billa31 says, the soundtrack is so good, front to back. Can't disagree.
yeah, and just to kind of talk about speedrunning a little bit more broadly, especially RPG speedrunning, I think one of the most fun parts of it for me is you get to spend so much time with these games that I love personally and that I grew up with in a lot of cases. And the music is a big part of that. So there's something that's really great about just having an excuse to go listen to the soundtrack of an amazing game like Super Mario RPG over and over again. And then just on top of that, I think the ability to share an entire game with a community or a group of people in one sitting, especially with speedrunning, that is something that, you can't do that with a lot of games, and especially RPGs. But, you tell people like, I'm going to finish Super Mario RPG, the whole thing in just a few hours, then, suddenly it's a little bit more manageable that way. So
I have to say that the scene where Mario is clambering up the cliff and looking out at the castle has big Ninja Gaiden vibes to me.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we're heading to Mushroom Way now.
Yep. And not a whole lot here. I just have to make sure I grab a certain number of coins, and I don't want to get any encounters. That is about the long and the short of it here. There's a couple flower items. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of them back here. One of the big differences between this version and the original version, because there are a lot of things. It was really interesting to be part of the crafting of this speedrun from day one, because this was a game that I knew I wanted to speedrun as soon as it basically got introduced, because I've played the original so much. So in the original, you can sell flower items, which is your main kind of source of money throughout the game. And then on the flip side, you're very, very short on flower points, which is the game's equivalent of magic points at a lot of points. So it puts a lot of pressure on those points where you can get like unlimited flowers, like Booster Hill, for example, is a really good example of that. That you kind of need to get as many as the game will let you, because you're selling all of your flower items. But in the remake, you can't sell them. So on one hand, you have less money, but on the other hand, you don't have as many flower points. So it was immediately kind of like an interesting change to the speedrun. So the Hammer Brothers that I just beat, they drop a flower item, and we would normally go sell that here in the Mushroom Kingdom, and we'd be all set to go on money for quite a while. But in the remake, I have to get those coins in the Mushroom Way because otherwise I won't be able to afford the things that I need for the next couple fights. And I'm definitely going to talk quite a bit about... Did I equip that? I did not. I'm sure over the course of the run, I'll talk quite a bit about little differences between the original and the remake. Another little funny one is coming up here. In the original version, there is a frog coin coming up, and in the original version, if you didn't do what I'm doing right now to go get it by riding the toad's head, it's in one of those hidden chests at the top. You actually had no way of going back and getting it in the game. And at this point in the game, you have not been told about the existence of either frog coins or hidden chests. So it was kind of a trolly thing in retrospect that was done to the game. So maybe you were supposed to look in the instruction manual. I'm not sure. But for the 100%ers out there, it was always a rough go.
Villa says, I won't lie, I did cry a little bit when they showed the trailer for the first time of Super Mario RPG.
It was one of those things that I think was really unexpected. And I know I was very emotional seeing it too. And just, you could tell right away it was kind of like that Link's Awakening remake style and just that kind of style glow up that Nintendo has given to a lot of their classic games. And I definitely think this is one of the better ones. And, you know, I know on the podcast, a very common discussion is, you know, remaster versus remake. And I would say this is absolutely like a remake of one of the highest orders. They really added so much to the game. And they did so in a way that didn't really, in my opinion, change the spirit of the original game. So somebody who played the original SNES version like me, you know, it still feels like that, but you know, you get all this other stuff in addition to that, like these cool cutscenes. So
wow. And here comes one of the greatest Square Enix characters ever. It's Mallow.
It's Mallow. And Mallow is actually the MVP of the speedrun now, which is funny because in the original Super Nintendo version, Mallow basically didn't get used as soon as you had 3 other functional party members. But in the remake, he is the best character by far. So everybody if you're a Mallow fan, you're going to really enjoy the run.
What makes him so good?
He has really good magic attacks. And in the original version, there was a glitch that you could do, and you could swap them onto Peach, and Peach was higher level. And because of that, Peach would end up doing all of Mallow's abilities. But in the remake, none of that is possible. So you're kind of just... I don't mean to say like you're stuck with Mallow in a negative way, but like you gotta flex Mallow to the fullest, and thankfully he is up to the task.
You've got to flex Mallow to the fullest.
Mandatory little hop during a cutscene, which is kind of funny that they still make you do that. Really kind of imbues the flavor of Mario into the game a little bit more, and a lot of the classic dialogue is still here as well. So one of my favorite lines is coming up when you try to leave town, and the toad asks, you know, it kind of explains what's going on. Krako is running around stealing things, and, you know, why didn't you stop him? Well, I left my bazooka at home. Sheesh. Good line. So.
Rabbit Hikes says, good evening. Hello, Rabbit Hikes. It's good to have
Rabbit.
you on the stream. Criminal Justice. Mallow is very stretchy, so that should work, right?
Mallow is very stretchy.
Billa says, that's a funny looking frog.
Well, I don't want to spoil things for folks who aren't aware of the plot, but yeah, more on that later. We gotta chase down a thief first.
This make me think a lot about mid-1990s Squaresoft as well. And a reminder that if we hit the 20K marker by the end of the stream, we will do the Sakaguchi quest somehow, some way on Axe of the Blood God. Just very exciting.
That would be fantastic.
And tell me about the other incentive in which you're fighting a bonus boss.
Yeah, I think that's already considered met because that was tied to the $15,000 incentive goal. And I'm gonna fight Kulex at the end of this run. So if you haven't, it's an option. It's basically the optional super boss of the game, and the Final Fantasy IV music plays during it, and it's a good time. So, all right. So
Excellent.
here's the first XP star. I'm gonna try to stand down here and let all these dogs run into me. They are definitely complying. That was really good. I might have actually gotten too many, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, definitely
Wow, thank
accomplished what
you.
I wanted to.
Excellent. Something that stands out to me immediately is when I watch a lot of RPG speedruns, a lot of them are about running away from encounters.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is all about skillfully jumping over and avoiding enemies that are on the overworld. And I have to say that I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a much more active RPG speedrun than most games, and it definitely flexes a different skill set. Oops. Oh, we're fine. I am not a very good platformer gamer, so that is kind of like a running joke in my community, is that, you know, the platforming king Blaze is here to play Super Mario RPG, or more recently I've been speedrunning Final Fantasy 16, which similarly is not not a game where you can kind of just walk around on tiles or, you know, deal with random encounters, things like that. So
We have a lovely crowd here as we are in our grand finale for the Axe of the Blood God charity stream, benefiting Trans Lifeline. And who are we fighting right now?
this is Croco. And Croco is the thief. Croco is one of my favorite characters in the game. This fight is pretty straightforward. You just jump 6 times with Mario. I bought that one honey syrup when I was in town earlier, specifically for this fight. And then because I got that level up, I can just punch once with Mallow, and that is enough damage to get through the fight here.
Oop. And Mallow punches the croc right in the nose.
We got his very important frog coin back, so that is good. One feature that they added to the remake, which definitely constitutes a quality of life, but also had some really nice impact on the way we do the speedrun, is there's like a fast travel system now. So we either get the option to fast travel back to areas that we've been to before, or you can also just warp right to the world map, and that is something that I'll be doing quite a bit throughout the run. Also, we found the wallet that Croco stole from one of the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom, and unfortunately, I kind of just need the money, so I just sold it. Sorry, that guy. This is a funny little scene here. So in the Super Nintendo version of this game, we're about to fight, he was Mac in the original, but this is one of the most famous skips in the Super Nintendo version. You can kind of get behind the left side of the Shy Guys over here, and you can actually completely skip the fight by jumping over the trigger that begins the encounter. You can't do that in the remake, but you do get to skip a little bit of dialogue if you get behind the Shy Guys, which I just thought was kind of funny. And there's a lot of points during this run where I do legitimately think, like, maybe tongue-in-cheek, the developers were aware of some of the glitches and stuff that were in the original game, and sort of, like, tipped their hat to them in a way, we'll say.
I always appreciate when developers are aware of a somewhat famous glitch, and instead of getting rid of it, maybe lean into it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because what is a great video game without its glitches?
Well, and you think about, like, how different video games are now as opposed to, you know, when everything was on a cartridge, and, you know, you couldn't go back and oh, Mario's gonna die here. That's okay. You know, you couldn't go back and, like, patch a cartridge after the fact, so for better or for worse, all those old glitches and stuff were just kind of there, and now even console games will get patches, so.
RWX says, the furries finally showed up to get this party to the finish line.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we got some, you know, furries are a very important part of a healthy ecosystem, so if you see furries in your community, definitely welcome them and be very very appreciative of their presence, because it means that you are a good, safe place. So.
And Robo Riley says, a truly dependable community. And Drew RWX says, they tip great on commissions, too.
Mm-hmm.
True, we know.
We got a star.
Yeah, we're gonna get 7 of these by the end of the run, even though they don't tell you that on the tin anymore like they used to. So, yeah, kind of a funny segment or concept, I guess. To sort of transform a Mario game into an RPG. This idea that there's missing, or like the Star Road has been shattered and you have to go rescue the pieces of the Star Road. I mean, that's very Square Enix. It's like the crystals and some of these other things. So it definitely works. Yeah.
I think what amazes me about this remake is just the way that it takes the pixel art, which normally I've seen so many remakes that they kind of get it right, but it's a little bit off. But this seems like super faithful to the art, the vibes, the aesthetic of the original game in a way that's really, really neat.
Yeah, I think this kind of specifically this toony style really lends itself well to the games from that era, especially games like Mario that are kind of cartoony themselves to begin with. So, All right, so we are done in the Mushroom Kingdom. We are off to the sewers next. So we're gonna hop in here and we're just gonna go straight to the boss pretty much and beat him up. So, but he's speaking of sprite work. And changes, graphical updates. I think if you look at the Super Nintendo version of this game, you probably couldn't really tell what Belome was. I say Belome, by the way. I don't know if that's the canonical pronunciation, but I say Belome. And boy, you can sure tell that he's kind of like a big giant cat monster thing in the remake here. So.
Do those rats have bombs and wear sunglasses? Is what I'm wondering.
Unfortunately, I've never seen them throw bombs, but maybe they carry. I don't know.
I'm here for any Super Mario Brothers 2 connection that we can get.
I have to think if there are any.
This cat is really freaking me out with its multiple eyes. Also, Mallow's lightning attack is has big Thundaga energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Mallow is just knows how to bring the pain in this game for sure. He is like I said, very useful MVP of the run. Another thing that sort of makes Mallow so important to the run is the way they implemented the chain system. So that is totally new to the remake. There's nothing like it in the original. So there's a number on my screen right now. It says something like 30 something. And basically every time I get a timed attack or a timed block, that number is going to go up. It's also going to increase the gauge at the bottom that's currently sitting at 100%. But there's not really much to say about that at the moment. We'll get to that in a little bit. But when I get to a chain of 5 or higher, every character offers a bonus. And Mallow's bonus is Magic Attack, or Special. Yeah, it's called Magic Attack. Magic is everything under the spell menu, basically. So Mario's jump and all of Mallow's spells get a 30... I want to say it's a 30% boost. Might not be quite that high, but I want to say it's 20 or 25, 30. To their damage when you have that chain of 5 or higher. So one of my goals for the run, which I will not do, so I just want to say right now, I'm not going to do this all perfectly. So, just to get that out there, I will make mistakes. We are only human after all. But I want to keep that number above 5 because that way Mallow is just getting a huge damage boost, not only for himself, but Mario in a lot of cases using jump attacks and things like that. So.
And now we're heading down the river.
Yeah.
Down by the river.
Yeah, this is another really kind of a classic thing. And honestly, you kind of see Square kind of got to play a little bit, I think, with mini games and just kind of the concept of mini games a little bit more in this. And I think they had a lot of fun with that. And it's kind of become just such an important part of a lot of the games that they make. since then too. So my goal here is I'm going to try to get 60 coins, minimum 60 coins, and then on top of that, I'm also making sure I grab all of the loose frog coins that are out there, because I do have a frog coin goal that I need to meet by a certain point in the run in order to get the XP booster.
Riley asks an important question here. When does Ultros show up during this segment? I believe Ultros should be appearing sometime soon.
So there's no Ultros, but I am going to get chased down by some scary fish here in a minute. The fish that are kind of in front of me, they're not too difficult to avoid. Pretty easy just to kind of jump over, and you'd sort of do it when you would be getting the coins anyway. But the remake introduced a terrifying new concept, which is the backfish. And I'm going to have to avoid 2 of those. There's the first one right now.
Oh.
They are a lot
This
harder
is
to
freaking me out.
dodge.
That looks like the Magikarp that I drew yesterday. It's incredible. Nintendo implemented that so fast.
That
Wow.
must have been that patch I saw this morning.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Ninjas. So if they hit you, is it a fight?
No, you just lose coins, which is bad because I'm
Oh,
trying
that's
to get
bad.
the correct numbers so I can get another frog coin here at the end. I should be good. I might have got 1 extra. I got 2 extra. Okay. There is a thing when you're a Super Mario RPG speedrunner, which is very silly, but if you get exactly 60 coins, you skip 1 text box, and that means you're a god gamer, so you're definitely supposed to do that, but I got 62, which is still fine, but I am unfortunately today not a god gamer.
We've got a few
But I got my
donos.
frog coin, and that's the important thing.
Got a few donos to shout out here. VV left a note with that matching donation because it did get fulfilled all the way. This is a gift for all of us. Let's get to 15K. VV, you got us there. Thank you so much for that. Ferric Fox drops $20 and says, have a great run. Blaze, Bowser getting kisses for sure. Kat, Nadia, Eric, love the podcast. Always fun to listen to on road trips and keep up with the latest. Keep being awesome. Heart. Drew RWX votes in the poll saying enemies to lovers for the win. And the veg says kaijus need love too, adding $100 to the poll. Let's see where we're at right now. It is overwhelmingly Bowser at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Pull my
you
arm
are-
already.
If you cannot stand for the Bowser and need to boost the booster, you gotta act. You gotta put your money where your booster is.
No love for Peach, huh?
I think
kiss
Peach
Peach
is going
anytime.
to struggle in this competition.
I think so. It's very much between Bowser and Peach, and Booster.
When we were talking about this before the segment started, Moonblaze offered up this idea, and I believe we talked about Bowser and Booster at length before Peach even became a part of the conversation. So there was not high hopes for Peach in this one.
Got to do something special. Peach is kind of like the default option. So when you're doing a charity stream, when you're trying to raise money for a great cause like Trans Lifeline, you need to mix it up a little bit. So Booster in particular, not a lot of people have seen that one, I think. So
As we've already established, in Mario Odyssey, Peach doesn't need Mario or Bowser, who are frankly a little toxic. And I think Mario and Bowser need to work out their feelings for each other, and Peach needs to fly around the world.
I like it. All right, so we listened to the Frog Sage give his speech here, and now we're sort of already off to the next area. He was Frog Fuchsius in the original, by the way. They did change that. It's one of the few changes that got made in the remake, which fairly indifferent on. I still just call him Frog Fuchsius anyway, so.
And where are we headed now?
So we're off to Rosetown. I kind of have to go through this small platforming area. Hopefully not get any encounters. Pick up a few more coins, but that's pretty much about it. So there's another cutscene at the end, which will be... we were just talking about Bowser, so this is our first kind of sense that Bowser is maybe a little bit different in this game. 'Cause I'm pretty sure this is kind of the first game where Bowser got any kind of personality, and certainly a comedic personality. then you start to see some of that here when he is commanding his troops, and they're starting to build up that Bowser bravado. And then over the course of the next probably 30 to 45 minutes, that's going to all start to melt away a little bit at a time. So
Bowser, the original Mario RPG, added so much personality to the series. Not that Mario didn't have personality before that, but Square low-key took these characters and really built on several aspects of them that have, I think, remained enduring parts of them to this day. From Peach's umbrella in Super Smash Brothers to just Bowser being the kind of the goon that he is, that we all know and love today. I think a lot of that got started in Super Mario RPG.
absolutely, yeah. They didn't really have a lot of lore before, so.
No. Before this, I mean, obviously we had the cameo appearances in the sports games, and we had Donkey Kong and Mario 1, 2, and 3, and Mario World, and Yoshi's Island and such. But you're right. I think that we were still a generation away from, say, the Mario sports games as we really came to know them. And maybe Mario RPG was a little bit of the springboard that Nintendo took when the N64 came around.
I just think it's funny too how they basically nailed the personalities that Nintendo ultimately decided to go with for these characters pretty much for the rest of the time that they've ever had personality. Like, I don't really think Bowser has changed all that much, and Peach is kind of, I think for early female JRPG characters, I mean, Peach is a pretty fair heroine kind of character, and they keep some of the, you know, the traditional woman, you know, kind of jokes and like roles and quality. Like, she equips a frying pan, for example, but like, you know, she also just slaps the crap out of people and doesn't really take a lot of she doesn't bow to authority and stuff like that too. So kind of a nice mix there for Peach for sure.
I think that it's important to remember that there is strength in femininity, and maybe Peach has slowly come to embody that. And we have everybody's favorite, long requested Smash Brothers character, Geno.
Yes. Yeah, Geno. They did a lot to Geno in this. They really made him very Pinocchio-like in a lot of the cutscenes. He's even kind of clunky and clumsy here at the beginning, which is interesting. I also like to call this the Spaceballs scene because it's everybody playing with the dolls. Yeah, leads nicely into this this bit here with Geno, and then some of the funny humor you get a little bit later on where he explains that he chose Geno because he looked like the strongest of the dolls, which is just really funny to me. So. All right, so I have to watch a little bit more dialogue about the mom and Gaz explaining that Geno has wandered off into the forest, and then I can just zip on out of town with my world map warp. And I'll be heading into the forest maze, which really, really great area. Very cool area. One of the best tracks. Also lots of really good hidden goodies in here too, so. That's a Wiggler. You can jump on his head 10 times to get a frog coin. A lot of speedrunners do that. I personally do not, because I can get them somewhere else, and if I mess up a couple Wiggler jumps, which are they're very, very difficult in the remake to get 10 in a row, because of how, like, I don't know if it's a camera or just kind of like the general jumping physics, but the Wiggler has a really weird hitbox, and it's very, very difficult to get 10 in a row. So I go get the safe ones instead.
Wiggler. one of our favorite Super Mario World villains.
Was Wiggler a Super Mario 2 thing? I'm trying to remember now, or was that just 3?
I don't think so. Maybe the cactuses were.
Yes.
I believe the cactuses were a Mario 2 thing. But not Wiggler. Perhaps people can correct me.
I'm trying so hard to find something Super Mario 2 for you.
I appreciate you, Moonblazewolf.
I
Radical
love Super
defects.
Mario 2, so yeah, I can. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Radical Defects says, I'll never forget attending a panel with Charles Martinet at a con in Florida. This 6-year-old kid goes up to Martinet during a Q&A and says, you probably don't, but do you know who Gino is? And if he's coming to Smash Brothers Ultimate? I was, it never seemed like Gino was in the cards for Mario, for Smash Brothers. It was really funny to see what the community grabbed onto back in the heady days of 2018 and 2019.
I think Gino might have just missed his window at this point, but yeah, go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm personally happy that Piranha Plant and some other characters got the shout.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against Gino, but I love the expanded Mario character universe, and I feel like Gino would have a stronger shot after this game coming out than before.
K_Wilk says, watch Gino come to Mario Kart 9 instead.
There we go. Now we're talking.
There we go. Regular Tony Style says, happy I was able to watch at least some part of the stream. Hope it is going well. Well, it is, Regular Tony Style. We have been killing it. Where are we at right now, Eric?
We are currently at, it's on the screen, but $15,359 raised for Trans Lifeline. Incredible.
That's
I believe
awesome.
We've also been raising a bit of money from the shop. Last time I checked, we were over $100 added in from merch, because if you go to the stop right now, shop.bloodgodpod.com, there's a 10% off discount. Trans Rights is the promo code, and you all 50% of the proceeds from all items purchased this weekend go toward Trans Lifeline, and we've had several people going into the shop and buying stuff. You can get a cool mug. We're selling pins, the whole 9 yards. It's excellent. So go check it out.
I believe if we raise $100 more, we will officially have raised more money on day 2 than we did in day 1, because I think day 1 was 7,700 or 7,800. So we need to raise.
7,800 was an amazing number.
We need to raise over 15.6 to beat day 1 on day 2. So if y'all want to push us past that and raise more today than we did yesterday, it's balls in y'all's court.
I'm doing my best to promote the merch here. I don't know if everybody can see.
Yeah,
the
cool
merch
shirt.
is great. I love the merch. I promise.
Regular Tony Style wants to know, what is the goal to get Cat to play Final Fantasy 14? We passed it. I gotta play it. It's happening.
Kat,
I need to go and reinstall it.
I don't think you're a Lalafell, right? I believe you are a Vieira. A bun girl?
I am. Yeah. Yep. I gotta go find the I've gotta go find the client. I don't have it on Steam. I need to remember what my log is and everything. LOL. Will it let me play a free trial if I've already been playing it? Does it let me go all the way to the top?
Yes. So the weird way it works is that you have the free trial for his. Oh, I love the little team up cutscene. Yeah.
Oh,
these are great.
And these are new.
These are totally new.
Yep.
No, they did.
This is kind of like your tutorial. This battle is kind of like doubles as your tutorial to those triple attacks. Because before this, you basically just get this ability called Toad Assist, because you don't have 3 characters yet. I actually used the toad assist at the beginning of the battle. It's one of the cool speedrun things from the run, and I did what is called a pause buffer to make sure I got the right bonus on Gino, and then he was able to just kind of quickly take Bowyer down. So just a fun little thing if you notice that, but I didn't want to derail the love for the charity and the marathon. So
no, you're all good. I do want to say, so if you have subbed to 14 before, then you can't go back to the free trial. You have to sub to stay in. But if you have never subbed before, then you're good.
Well, unfortunately, I did sub.
Well, Kat,
so
you're
like
gonna sub.
Or I'm gonna reach out to Square and ask them if I can have a code. We will find out.
Speaking of codes, we should do a code giveaway. I mean, we're cruising here. We still have 3 codes for FF7 Rebirth on PS5. Those somehow have not been grabbed yet. I'm assuming because most of our audience already played it.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Probably.
Meanwhile, the Baldur's Gate codes went fast. I think we're out of Steam Baldur's Gate codes already.
We're gonna do the Eric. Are we gonna do the raffle of the PS5?
Oh yes. At the end of this run, we will do the raffle of the PS5.
Excellent.
But meanwhile, Bad Wolf Emrys, if you are in the chat, say, hey, you have won a code.
Rebirth is not out on PC yet.
Yeah, Rebirth is not on PC yet.
Hopefully soon. It is so good, though. I still need to find time to go back and do all the rest of the side content, which is incredibly good from everything I've heard. Not just like filler FF16, but actual like really good side content and side quests. So hopefully I'll get a chance to do that one of these days.
I definitely piled a hilarious amount of obligations onto my onto my plate. I have to finish the Nuzlocke run. I have to play through Heaven's Word, and I'm currently doing the Persona 3 Reload run, and also we're going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm clearing the decks. I'm not playing any more new games this year.
Hey, Kat.
Yes?
In a minute here, you're going to get sent a number on your phone. Please DM, do not read out, DM me that number when you get sent it. Need to emphasize, do not read it aloud. Sorry, we're solving a problem on the back end of Twitch requiring you to do extra hoops to send DMs on the platform, which, hey, more security is always a good thing. I'm not going to talk that down.
Hey, it was a text or an email?
It'll be a text. It's coming.
Okay.
So
await this text.
You know, the first thing that comes to mind when I hear Kat say that, you know, oh, I have all these games I'm going to need to play now because y'all have been donating, and my first thought was, boy, it's really great that y'all have a Twitch channel now, because that's a good content to fill that up and, you know, keep people coming back. I know I told a few people that I was doing this run tonight, and a few people specifically said, X the Blood God has a Twitch channel? That's awesome. So, you know,
yeah,
we'll get y'all, you know, more people aware of the fact that not just a podcast anymore. So
not just a podcast. And it's just a reminder, if you're joining us for the very first time, we do stream our weekly show every Saturday. Twitch.tv/BloodGodPod. Come and join us at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern each week for our weekly show. We're continuing to work on building it up and improving the production quality and everything. I feel like we've learned a lot about video overall, and if you weren't here before, also we're going to be launching a newsletter soon as well. So lots to look forward to as we head into the back half of the year.
We're also doing the retro days on Sundays, which we did not do one of this week because of the charity stream, but next Sunday we will be picking back up with my playthrough of FF6 on the Super Nintendo. we will be heading to the floating continent. Very excited for that. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's just a floating continent, and something's going to happen there, and it's going to lead to another part of that game. So
just floating up there.
It's just floating. we gotta go check that out for sure. I think we also need to go pick up some stuff too. I have Mog, but I haven't gotten the dance or anything, and I am led to understand that we need a dance from somewhere, so we're gonna get that.
Eric, I don't see a text.
So the text is not coming because Twitch decided that my browser is an unsupported browser. So we're gonna solve that problem later. And if you get a code from us in these raffles and these giveaways, if you're in the Discord, I'm just gonna DM you on the Discord. If you're not, I'm gonna tell you to DM the Twitter account, which has open DMs, and we can solve it through there. We are nothing if not adaptable. But you're also in the Discord. Perfect, Emrys. I will just DM you there. That's so much easier. If you want to drop like a "Hey, it's me" in the Blood God Charity Stream thread that we have running, which we've had running all weekend. It's been fantastic little discussion throughout the week. It's been great to see. But I will find you if you don't find me first. Non-threateningly.
Also, I will just say from an outsider perspective, shout out to joining +1 to joining the Axe of the Blood God Discord if you're not doing so already. It is, I check it every day. I'm somewhat terminally online. I don't think I'm as terminally online as a lot of people are, but it is one of the things I do every day is hang out and talk to people, and just some awesome gamers on there. Definitely a good time. So.
Thank you so much. That is really kind of saying. It's really heartening that we've been doing this. We've been running the Patreon since 2021, and it's really great to see that the community is stronger than ever in many respects and just continues to grow in a lot of fun and meaningful ways. And we have a lot to look forward to in the next year or so. It's been a tough year in many respects, but I really truly hope that things will be, kind of getting better in some ways, and we can look forward to a lot of great RPGs.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're someone who is here because you saw that there's a speedrun as well, I will also shout out that on the Axe of the Blood God Discord, there is always a thread for the major speedrunning events that are going on. So if you want a cozy community to hang out and kind of chat during like Games Done Quick events or RPG Limit Break, you will be able to do that on the Axe of the Blood God Discord, which I really appreciate because that is always something I look forward to. Even though I'm actually there for most of those events, I do attend Games Done Quick events and RPG Limit Break every year if I get the opportunity. But even then, it's really great to see folks on the Discord chatting about the things that they're enjoying, RPGs or not, and just kind of getting into the spirit of the Speedrun Marathon, which is very similar to the charity stream that's been going on here all weekend. Just gamers getting together, having fun, supporting a great cause, and just wielding the power of the the fandom gaming, people who are really into video games and appreciate all of the work, and either the developers themselves or the people who play them or the streamers or the charity, or just the idea that they're cool people out there who want to do good things in the world. It's all one and the same at the end of the day. So big I just want to shout that out as well, because just like this, speedrun marathons are really important for that role as well. And I think everybody wants to find a way to be a part of something maybe bigger than themselves, and speedrunning and charity events on Twitch and things like that are a great way to do that. So
1,000%.
Very much so.
Communities. You got to support your communities full of awesome gamers. I'll sum it up in saying it that way. So
yeah, no, seriously, like with the way that especially, social media platforms in particular and stuff have pivoted in ways that have made them less hospitable and sometimes even hostile places to be. We've tried and worked really, really hard to make Blood God and the Discord and just the community around it to be a place where folks aren't going to encounter that, or they're going to have a place where they can just talk about the things they love and the things that they care about, you know, RPGs, speed running. I mean, we have threads for everything. We talk about fighting games in there sometimes. We talk about random stuff. There's interstate beef sometimes. There's the Texas coalition hangs out in there and talks about Buc-ee's and HEB.
I do want to hop in really quick because I'm about to do a minecart ride, which is very fun. So I just wanted to bring that up. Everybody enjoy the awesome minecart experience.
I saw Abby of the Moon recently jump back into a stream. I was like, oh my god, Abby of the Moon.
Abby. That's the other thing is like these names become pretty regular, and it's fun to see folks just hang out. People take breaks and come back, you know, and they're always welcome when they come back, and we always have a good time, and that's been really nice to see.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our community members have been around for like literally years at this point.
Why did you?
I may have shared my origin story.
Oh, what is it?
My Blood God origin story has to do with Eric and Destructoid and Chained Echoes. So
let's go, Chained Echoes.
Chained Echoes was a game I really got into speedrunning end of 2020. Well, I guess early 23. Because I wasn't aware of it immediately when it came out. I was aware of it because I read Eric's review on Destructoid. And then I listened to the podcast episode where he all talked about it and gushed about it. And yeah, just good stuff.
That episode with a friend of the show, Austin Walker, was a really, really fun one to record. I felt like we just got to talk about a game that really just moved us for a while, and is still one of my favorites to go back to. That game is something else. It's really something else.
It really is.
I am just amazed that game exists in this day and age, when it's so hard to make a video game. Even as an indie developer, I can only imagine. Oh, that was unlucky. I'm sitting here talking about Chained Echoes. I got to be driving this minecart. No, it's all good.
Think about those robots.
That game has given so much to me since I found it, and I've ran that game at GDQ and RPG Limit Break now. It's a game that my partner and I speedran as a co-op game for a while, and it's just it's really neat to have that game. And I found some other cool games through the websites that you all work for and the articles that you write and things that you talk about on the podcast. So as someone who is really into indie RPGs and seeing what's out there on the horizon, or maybe finding a new game to speedrun, I think the pod does a really good job of bringing games like that forward a lot of the time. So those are always my favorite episodes.
Thank you.
Like the hidden gems kind of discussions. We
need to do another one of those soon, because I've been digging into a few that I definitely am going to want to talk about at some point. But Billa in the chat saying, I became a Patreon member when I bumped into Eric at a waffle line at PAX East. Oh my god, I didn't realize that was you, Billa. What's up? I remember that waffle line.
It's a good story. I'm actually going to my first PAX in 2 weeks. I'm going to PAX West, and I've never been to a PAX event before. So if anybody is going to PAX West, stop by the GDQ stage. I will probably be hanging out there. And you can say hello, and I would love to meet more people from the Blood God community myself personally. So
wish we could go.
You'll be able to see this game on the GDQ stage. I'm actually running it on Saturday night, so that'll be fun too.
Amazing.
Yeah, so Tatum, friend of the show, is also in chat. I was in that waffle line to get waffles for Tatum because they were working a booth at the show and were not able to get away to get food that morning. And so I was like, I got nothing to do. I'll go get you waffles. And we were standing in line talking about the upcoming D&D stream that we were going to do. And I was like, I need to buy some dye or something while I'm here so I have some actual physical dye to roll. And that was when Billa was like, hey, I thought your voice sounded familiar. Are you talking about Axe of the Blood God? And I was like, yep, yeah, I'm one of the co-hosts. I'm Eric. And yeah, no. incredible little moment happening here in chat right now. The convergence of so many lines.
That's so fun. It's very small world kind of moment, and
This proves two things to me. Number one, that the Blood God is a uniting force, and number two, waffles are also a uniting force in our lives. Shout outs to waffles.
that is so funny.
Let's go waffles.
I don't even think I got waffles. I think I just got you waffles. I don't think I ate those waffles. I think I just got like a Diet Coke or something.
Having the absolute worst time. Final Fantasy 14 account.
Cat is already loving this journey.
Oh,
we got
thank God.
we got the best cutscene coming up here, by the way. This is like peak Bowser right here. Getting in the 3-point stance and boom. That's Mallow's face.
That's why I played Bowser in Smash for so long.
Because he knows how to break down a door with his butt.
He knows how to just bring the pain.
That's true. I tried to play Bowser in Mario Kart for a while. It was just he's a little too slow on the accelerating.
For some reason, Donkey Kong's always been my Mario Kart go-to. It was Yoshi for a while, but everybody wants to play as Yoshi in Mario Kart, so I was like, I think I need somebody else that isn't going to be so hotly contested, and Donkey Kong became that. I like Donkey Kong riding on like a motorcycle. I don't know why, it just makes me happy.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, he's just
I'm
this
a-
really big guy on a tiny little bike.
I settled on being a Luigi main in Mario Kart. Not that I play a ton, but
I do think it says an
like
interesting amount about
Inkling
you
Girl.
when you play. Yeah.
you like who?
I like Inkling Girl
Oh yeah.
or Rosalina,
Mm.
which is funny because I'm not like the biggest fan of Splatoon or anything. I just enjoy being the Inkling Girl. I like the design of the Inklings. This is the main thing. Yeah. So
I'm doing
I've learned.
Booster's Tower right now, by the way, and this is probably my favorite area. It's also one of the most difficult areas in the game, so just want to mention that really quick because we're big Booster fans here on this podcast and on this channel. So
We love Booster.
So this is like the Sen's Fortress of Mario RPG.
this is the floating continent of Mario RPG.
Oh,
area.
okay. You're making me really curious about what the floating continent's going to be. Again, I know there's a world of ruin, and I think it happens sometime after the floating continent. That's all I know
Dude,
about
I
what's
gotta
coming
hear
up.
all about your thoughts on the floating continent. I really do.
We'll probably talk
Honestly,
about
one
it
of
on the
my-
next pod episode.
I don't want to hype it up, but it's honestly one of my favorite all-time moments in an RPG.
100%
Maybe
here.
maybe we do like a special stream before Saturday so we can talk about it on the pod next week. Maybe we do that special stream, make that happen, because I need to add more live streaming to my life after this weekend.
Are you playing OG or Pixel Remaster, Eric?
I'm playing OG because the thing I felt, because I played Chrono Trigger on my SNES Classic just because I had it available. It was easy enough to just plug into the Elgato and route through that. And that was really what felt like the best way to play Chrono Trigger. I know there's a PC port and like a DS version, but it felt like the best way to just play that game at the time was just plug in the SNES Classic. And so then when it came to FF6, I was already on the SNES Classic too, and I was like, I kind of like the idea of playing the games as they were. I think there's something interesting to me, someone who did not experience that stuff back when it first came out, experiencing it now as it was, rather than like, the polished version of it. That's why, like, if I do end up doing
appreciate
Super Mario RPG, I might not do the remake. I might opt to go for the original version instead, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, no, I think every game is different for sure. The Chrono Trigger ports are notoriously eh. I think I maybe told you this last year, but after I played Chained Echoes, I actually went back and played and finished Chrono Trigger for the first time, and I did the OG, and that was a very good experience. The only thing about the Pixel remasters is they actually really did just kind of port them and upscale them, like I would say very different than like this remake and some of the other games that have been remade where they changed a bunch of stuff or added a bunch of bells and whistles. And I was actually pretty surprised how little they changed with the Pixel remasters, which in most cases I would say is a positive. There's probably people who would disagree, but like the Pixel remaster version of FF5, I finally was able to get through FF5 for the first time, so. All right, so we're fighting Booster here. First, we got to get through Booster's cronies, which are these 3 snippets. We're going to take them out with a rock candy, and then we're on to the main event here.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
I have to say that having Bowser as a party member in Mario RPG felt sort of revolutionary, given that he was a villain, pure villain up to that point. To have him as a unlikely ally was a great twist.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It is kind of wild that this game ended up doing so much to add to the world of Mario, right? Like we talked about that earlier, but it just continues to amaze me. Like this was almost an inflection point of like Mario is going to be not just this platform mascot character, but I mean, nowadays you see a lot of franchises try to create that multi-property, multi-game thing, and it happened with this Super Nintendo game. It really just expanded the world out so far and made so much space for more stuff to come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also led to one of my favorite RPGs, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. So, just put that out there. When's Superstar Saga going in the Pantheon?
At some point, I'm sure. That's another one. We are going to have a very busy fall for RPGs between Brothership and Metaphor Refantagio and Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Refantazio. Yes.
Refantagio.
It's an Italian
both of
RPG.
An IRPG.
I think Metaphor is on Steam Deck. I hope it is.
Oh, Metaphor is on PC.
Oh yeah,
at
it's
launch,
on
I'm pretty
PC.
sure. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Good. I will definitely be playing it on PC.
And I think it's a cross-gen game still. I'm double checking that, but I think it is a cross-gen.
Everything's
game.
cross-gen. Yes.
Yeah, that game's coming out on PS4. That's amazing.
Can you believe how the staying power of the PS4? Now 10 years old. More than 10 years old.
I mean, not to get too deep into industry talk in the middle of the speedrun or whatever, but I do think it's in large part like it's so expensive to make a PS5 game. It's so expensive to make like a really high fidelity game that
and frankly, the PS4 still has a huge install base.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere in many households, there are people who just own a PS4. And catering to that audience is not a bad idea, honestly.
I'm happy it's coming out on PC at launch because that's a big one. As much as I love other options, I do feel like the good PC is becoming a pretty go-to platform. And we were talking earlier about, you know, being in press and having things because you need to have them. But if I didn't need to have a PlayStation for work, I would seriously be considering just having a really good PC as my main platform, and then like the Switch is the
100%. Yeah. I don't know that there's. I don't like maybe FF7 Rebirth is like the thing that would push me to buy a PS5, but otherwise there haven't been a lot of great PS5 exclusives, even Elden Ring, you know.
Yeah, Elden Ring was still. I mean, it was the last gen, but it was also.
It was
like,
on PC. It was on
notoriously.
PC and also. And honestly, you can have a really great time with just a Nintendo Switch playing games like Super Mario RPG.
Absolutely.
Well, these Shy Guys are starting to box you out there.
Yeah, I off to a really good start, so it's kind of I'm sort of feeling like it's all gravy from here on out. But
Shy
in
Guy was
the
like-
original version of this game, yeah, this was like such a stressful part of the speedrun of the original, and it's like you really don't have to care that much about it in the remake, which is very nice. So
These
I
Shy
still
Guys
have
from
a certain
DOI
number I
State.
want to get, and I've definitely got it, and then some.
Oh,
so
good,
I'm
good.
good. In fact,
Radical
this is
Defect
probably one of my
says-
better. This might be my best booster hill ever. I think I got like 12, maybe. 10.
Nice
Okay,
going.
still good.
How are
Yeah.
you doing in terms of pace?
I'm doing just fine. I'm not going against my splits or anything like that. But I can tell I'm on a perfectly good pace right now.
Oh,
so.
excuse me, Sniffits. I was incorrectly acknowledging the Mario minions. I do genuinely apologize, and I will reflect on my words and deeds. The Sniffits.
What did you say? Sniffsters?
No, I was calling them
they're
Shy
called
Guys.
Snifters. Oh, okay, yeah. And then you're just wrong. So,
yeah.
You deserve that. No. As something else I was thinking. I can't remember. Oh, that didn't look like it was gonna work, but we got there. I hate that Sniffit. He's not a good teammate. He's not a good teammate like Bowser. Oh, speaking of Bowser, Kiss is coming up very soon, so I will say,
Gotcha.
if you want to donate towards having me kiss either Bowser or Booster, you definitely should just go ahead and get that donation in.
Yeah, if you want to swing it
Right
last
now.
minute, right now Bowser is the winner, but someone could last minute swing it to Booster or Peach.
Okay.
You've got seconds to make this happen.
Yeah, we got like 30 seconds or so, and then I will say, probably just tell me who won, and that'll be the official winner. Got another funny mini game here where we have to retrieve Peach's wedding gear for Booster here. Booster is quite the character. We ended up not really talking about Booster very much, which is fine, but Booster is certainly I don't even know. Like I originally thought that Booster was probably like a prototype for Wario, and then somebody told me that Wario already had a game by the time Booster came out, so now I don't have any idea. All right, am I kissing
Bowser. It's going to be Bowser.
All right.
Mario 6 Golden Coins came out before 1996, I'm pretty sure. Now I'm going to look it up.
That's my understanding too. So like Wario was already a thing. So I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
what fever dream.
6 Golden
produced
Coins
Booster,
came out in the
but
year 1992.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Pretty sure I manipulated this. Well, manipulated. I'm pretty sure I waited long enough that I'll get a kiss from Bowser here. So everybody enjoy, and thank you for donating to Trans Lifeline. Hey.
Hey,
Hey!
it's a me.
Ho ho!
Ooh.
That's one for the scrapbooks. I just very glad I can have a turtle husband and Mario kiss for charity. It's
Hell
never
yeah.
gets old. And now I get to fight a big anthropomorphic cake, which is just again, I have no idea where any of this came from, but it's very good, very memorable RPG stuff. So big fan.
Well, I've seen gender reveal parties where they do this. They fight a cake. You break it. Then fireworks
Cake.
come out.
Yeah. This is one of the few fights that actually got quite a bit easier in the remake, which is nice. And the main reason is because you can actually swap out party members if somebody, if one of your characters dies in battle, you can actually swap in a character for them. So essentially, you are kind of playing with a party of your full party at all times, which is not the way the original works, and it makes this fight in particular extremely challenging because you have to blow out the candles now in the second phase. And in the original, if you lost a character, it's basically 1 hit per candle. It gets very, very difficult to whittle down the cake with only like 2 characters. For example, if somebody died. Plus, you're very underleveled. Plus, his attacks are pretty brutal. So, having a little bit more flexibility in the remake is very much appreciated.
We have another giveaway winner, by the way. Exclusively Lex, are you in the chat right now?
Hey, exclusively Lex.
I know you're in that Discord, so I'm probably just going to DM you there, but are you in the chat? Please celebrate a little bit. You get your pick of a code.
Yep, so I'm just punching a cake here, trying to get the candles to go out. Mario is using a red essence, so he is invincible for 3 rounds. Gino is asleep, which is not cool, but hey, I can just bring Mallow in. Just out of curiosity, is anybody, or folks can say in the chat, I will try to watch, but I know Kat and Eric have been really good about relaying messages from chat so far as well. But I'm really curious if anybody watching has played both the original SNES version and the remake, and what your thoughts are on kind of the quality of remake for the Switch version.
Sorry, I missed the first part of it because I was sending the code for the remake of this.
Oh,
or?
I was just curious if anybody else in the chat had thoughts about this remake versus the original SNES version that had played both, because I love them both, but I would say probably for pretty different reasons. So I'm kind of curious what everybody else thinks.
Teeps is saying, I have, and I think this is one of the best remakes I have played. Necromancer saying I've played both. Remake is the definitive for me now. And Drew RWX is saying I played both. The remake felt made with love.
See, secretly what I'm trying to do right here is I'm trying to bully Eric into playing the remake instead of the original. So if anybody feels strongly about that, you definitely help me in this endeavor.
I think the remake is a much better game.
But there's something about playing, I don't know, because I wasn't going to like play all the cards in my hand. So, okay, right now in our retro lineup, after FF6, we have Earthbound. And then there's kind of a gap after that. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next after that. And there's 2 games that have been bouncing around in my head. One that we've been thinking about for a while is Super Mario RPG. But a new one popped in the other day, and I kind of considered it. I was like, that might be a left field pick. And it rhymes with Star Ocean 2, because it is Star Ocean 2. And I was like, oh, we could play Star Ocean 2. So I don't, and those are 2 games where I think like many people would probably argue that the remakes would be ones to play over the originals, because I feel like the Star Ocean 2 remake was also very well received.
Star Ocean 2. The OG is definitely pretty good.
Yeah. I personally haven't played the remake. My partner did and really liked it. But the original Star Ocean 2 is one of my favorites. So,
Criminal Justice saying, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Wow, that's not even old, Eric. I can't believe you want to stream that and play it with me. Look, Relink is... That demo was a banger of a demo, and it's one of those games where I sat there and I was like, I played that demo, I really enjoyed it. I played it co-op with some friends and had a great time playing it co-op. And so every time I think about what game do I want to play right now, it's like, why am I not playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink? But I think we need a co-op party to do that, so maybe.
It's a fantastic question. I'll add it to the pile.
Yeah.
The incredible pile of games that I've taken onto myself now.
I just entered the longest cutscene in the game, by the way, and there's no new ground that is being tread here, so feel free to fill the time with donations or anything else that you want to talk about.
Yeah, let's check the donations. I think we've been getting a steady stream throughout the run. We have $100 from Only Ghosts. No comment. The Z Sprite put in $25. Y'all been steadily pouring this stuff in. We love to see it. There are a lot of great donations still rolling in, and we still got time between now and the end of this segment. If y'all want to push forward, 20K is out there. The Sakaguchi quest does exist.
Sure does.
Kat is thrilled, as you can tell. The idea that
I'm
she'll have
so
to
tired. Holy
play
cow.
FF14 and then play so many Sakaguchi games. I'm actually
a lot
looking
of
it up right
them-
now to see like what the earliest stuff we would have to play is, because we'd
A
have
lot
to
of
go
them are
pretty
very
far back.
old.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't play them fully. We wouldn't be pantheoning or any of them, but we'd definitely be doing some sort of RPG quest of them. Have some robust knowledge of them.
Mm-hmm.
He has 133 credits on 88 games.
Wow.
Cat
I have
is
to imagine
thrilled.
that a Sakaguchi quest we wouldn't necessarily be doing a full podcast on every single game. We might be bundling them up into eras.
Eras, for sure. I think that's the right way to do it, because there are some games here where he's a supervisor, a producer of some kind, but I think kind of looking at it in terms of, you know, maybe the pre-Final Fantasy era, the early Final Fantasy days, getting into the heyday of the SNES and stuff like that, and then other later eras. You can talk about his departure, his breakout into his own studio and all that kind of stuff. There's ways you can break it up that will kind of look similar to the way we did the console RPG quest, where we weren't going every single game for every single console. We were kind of looking at the broad strokes and the historical impact. That does mean we're playing Racing Lagoon, though, if we get that. Let's talk about Racing Lagoon and Urgi's God Bless the Ring. Bangers.
This is one of my favorite moments in the game, by the way.
Yeah. I love Mallow pointing. It's almost that's one of my favorite memes to come out of this game.
The original is sort of a surprise. Like, this one has a cutscene to put a button on it. The original, they're like leaving, and then she just comes floating out, floating down, which I thought was a really great surprise.
Yeah. All right, so we have our full party. Got to do a little bit of cleanup here, and then I'll be headed to Star Hill, which is the next sort of required area of the run.
Radical Defect says, God, Mario is so cute in this game. Very plump. They're all very plump and kind of adorable.
I like it because Mario gets kind of like stanced up at times. Like, he gets kind of in this little like squat position. Like, I love it. Billa asking, you ever think they would re-release Lost Odyssey on PC? God, I wish. I seriously wish. Like,
I want to play Lost Odyssey really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a long-form YouTube video on that game recently, and it absolutely piqued my interest.
It's wild to think that there is a game by Hironobu Sakaguchi and a bunch of other folks that's going to turn into like a lost piece of media that will just have to be like collected in, you know, ephemera. Like, there are so many games that I feel like just exist through video essays and things like that. I think Tokimeki Memorial, obviously it still exists, but like that game largely got a resurgence thanks to the work of folks like Tim Rogers. And crazy to think that there's a game that's not even that old from a major developer that's falling into the same pit.
This area is rather pretty.
It is. I just got reminded of something, actually, and I want to mention, because I talked about my Blood God origin story earlier, and I think what I said is not entirely accurate.
Oh, no.
Because I also, in addition to Eric, I remember very clearly hearing Kat on an episode of the 8-4 podcast, which I believe was actually recorded at the Tokyo Game Show. And I think that was the first time I ever heard Kat, and I think that was also the first time I ever heard Tim Rogers. So when you mentioned that kind of got me thinking about that a little bit also. So,
Wow.
Just like that.
or am I imagining that cat? I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying
Was
to.
that somewhat recently, or was that like 2015, 2016?
It wouldn't have been that long ago. So maybe I am
Oh, 2022?
mixing a couple things in my head. It probably would have been 2022. Yeah.
We had Tim Rogers on the show in 2022-ish, early 2023.
Okay.
Oh, because he had just put out the Boku no Natsuyasumi video, which sadly was his last video. Tim, if you're listening to this, where's your next video? We want to hear you talk about LA Noire.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay.
But
well, maybe I'm
you may have
mixing up
heard
a few
me.
things in my head.
Yeah.
And that happens. But
I mean,
I
Cat's
definitely
been on a
recall
lot of stuff.
for sure.
I have been.
But yeah, I definitely stumbled onto Tim Rogers through your interview with him, I want to say. So that was very cool.
Core memory unlocked. My Blood God origin story is when they ranked all the Zelda games. Wanted to hear where they put Link's Awakening, lol.
Oh, we ranked it.
Interesting.
We ranked it high, didn't we? I feel like it went pretty high on that list.
I believe we did. I think this was pre you, Eric, unless you were on it with us and John.
Was this pre me? Maybe I'm thinking of the Link to the
Also-
Past Pantheon.
Also, I'm kind of curious to know if it was actually a Patreon only or if it ended up being released to everybody. I think it ended up being released to
Pre-Eric
everybody.
a long time ago. Yeah. Active
I'm
Time Babbler
definitely
says
curious.
Morsdy.
I'm definitely curious if anybody else wants to share their Blood God origin story through a comment or a donation. That sounds kind of fun. So.
Oh, we'd love to hear that for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I would love to hear your. More D says, I'm an active time babbler, but really I date from the mid 2000s. Whatup.com. We have a veteran here.
Can't Pilla just
Wild.
Theirs, yeah. Rabbit Hike
My
says
ax-
minus today. Yeah.
Mine is today, thanks to Blaze.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
welcome to the fam. Let's go.
So really quick, before I did that XP star, I did get a experience booster, which immediately went on Mallow because Mallow needs to catch up and learn all of his really powerful spells as soon as possible. And now we are headed to the sunken ghost ship, which is a very important part of the speedrun that I will get to in just a minute. So yeah, Rabbit is someone who hangs out on my streams a lot, and yeah, definitely glad to help kind of make the Axe of the Blood God, bring that to more folks' awareness, because y'all are my favorite podcast, and I'm absolutely not just saying that because you let me be on your stream again.
You want to say it for that? You can say it for that.
No, like y'all are. I mean, I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, just in the sense that online, I have a very certain taste in online communities. I don't know what the best way to put it is, but I can tell when they are genuine. And I think that just comes of the fact that I've really been in online community for so long in my life, whether it was furry originally, and then speedrunning is also very much an online-based community in the same way. And so when you hop onto, like I mentioned earlier, like the Axe of the Blood God Discord, you listen to the way that everybody talks on the podcast and things like that, you just immediately feel the genuineness of that, and just like the fact that you're doing this is kind of like a thing that you're passionate about, and it comes through, and it really is meaningful. And I think when you're that kind of community and that kind of production, you also draw the people that are also into it for those reasons. They're very passionate about the games, or the being able to discuss them in great detail, or hear other people discuss them in a particular way, and it just all comes through very very well, I would say. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. So we're fighting a sort of a toyetic octopus right now, or squid.
Yep, there he is.
And you're using Bowser and Geno right now.
I am. I'm using a bunch of fire bombs that I got because this thing is very weak to fire, and I just sold all of the expensive stuff that I had so I could buy as many bombs as I was able to carry, pretty much, or afford, I should say, not carry, but yeah.
Question from the back here. Y'all are underwater right now, right?
Yes, although there's actual underwater sections of the ship, so I think there are. We'll call them air pockets, maybe.
Okay.
But
I was
the game. Mario is
hold
an
on.
accomplished swimmer, so.
I was more wondering about how the combustion was happening in an underwater situation, but yeah, if we're in an air pocket, that makes more sense. I mean, could go into a Final Fantasy X situation where Titus is just swimming for 3 years without taking a single breath and throwing grenades underwater, but
Yeah, that's a little beyond my my knowledge base for a game like this. There we go. I needed that item there, or I will die.
Robo Riley
saw a
says you
lot
can
of-
do some wild stuff underwater. It's a crazy thing to say out of context.
Yeah, just
Crazy
ask
stuff.
Titus. Final Fantasy X. Him and Yuna.
I'm very glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't worry about having to explain the physics of how Blitzball works.
No.
Want to play Blitzball? Want to play Blitzball?
We made water soccer and it's cool.
Yep.
It's literally just Captain Tsubasa, but in a giant water tank. Have fun. We just put Captain Tsubasa in this game because we like it.
I think Blitzball. I talked about this quite a bit last year. I'm sure. I think Blitzball gets a little bit of a bad rap. So
It does.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they put a sports game in their RPG. Or
I
a
know it
sports
rules.
sim.
They should do that more.
Yeah, they kind of found their thing with card games now. I don't think they're ever getting away from that.
Yeah.
True.
Queen's Blood is really good. I mean, it used to be that the ask was 14 players wanted Blitzball in Final Fantasy 14, and then Rebirth came out. Now it feels like the sentiment has swapped to they want Queen's Blood in 14, which I can't really argue against.
Watch me become a triple triad influencer within
no.
Final Fantasy 14.
Cat, you don't know how deep the triple triad hole goes in 14. You can only see the beginning of it. This is like the Uzumaki spiral. All right, this just keeps going.
We're ducking under cannonballs right now. We're fighting little pirate guys.
Little pirate
Little
sharks.
Pirate sharks.
They're adorable. And I'm about to do one of the most important fights in the speedrun, which is the Johnny fight.
Ooh.
And it is important because this is the fight where I'm going to try to get 100 super jumps for the super suit. Which is a thing in the remake as well. Now, there's a lot to say about super jumps. I don't know if I necessarily need to say everything about them, but the biggest thing is that it is very difficult, and I may or may not be able to do this. I'm not going to spend the entire evening doing super jumps. I wouldn't do that to anybody, including all of you. As long as I get at least 30, I can easily finish the run, but I would like to get 100 because it's cool. And also, it's a little bit better in terms of getting through the rest of the game. So, yeah, so we'll give this a couple tries. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and... If you all want to talk, feel free, but I'm going to go ahead and mute Discord, so I'm just going to be very focused here for this one specific part.
They're getting very focused. Zen. Big moment right here.
We got this? I think we got
I
this.
just saw Nadia's light go on. She's been summoned.
Nadia heard the jumps, heard the call.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh god, here we go.
There we go. We're into it now.
Let's go. Where's my super suit? Oh.
Ooh.
The toughie.
That's okay. That was the warm-up round. That was just kicking the tires, getting ready.
Here we go. One. Feeling a lot of tension right now. Everybody in silence as we get to 30.
The crowd stunned, watching on in revered silence.
We are almost halfway there. Can Mario do it and get the super suit?
Oh, we got this. We're getting there. We're cooking.
We got this. Just 30 to go.
If we hit this, I gotta see some donos. Y'all gotta put cash in.
We got this. We got this.
I'm donoing.
10,
I'm
9,
putting 100 in if this
8,
hits.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They've done it!
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Let's go.
do you believe in miracles?
Go.
Let's go.
I put my money where my mouth is.
Wow.
That's $100 from me to Trans Lifeline. One
Oh
for
my
every jump.
gosh. That's
Wow,
incredible.
doing that preemptively. That is a bold move. That is very stressful, and I'm really glad I did that. I'm also going to donate $100 to Trans Lifeline as soon as the run is over for that. So very cool. Now I get to do the fun stuff. So
Good gosh,
I'm back,
that
but I
was-
don't think my my screen is up.
No, you are live audio-wise, and I'll put your screen up in a moment. I just figured having like a vacant window of your darkened room was not a good idea.
It's gonna be kind of cool.
That was so cool.
what's up, Nadia? Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Congratulations on
great.
100.
I'm really good now. Yeah. Can you imagine if I had left Discord audio on and like Nadia came back in the middle of the middle of the runs
what's
and was
going
like,
on?
hey everybody, what I missed?
Oh, no, I can tell you're doing something important. So I just shut up.
Like you never know.
I had that
when
look.
the pit
I had
will
that
show
look
up.
on my face. I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Nadia,
Oh my gosh.
we were earlier sharing Axe of the Blood God origin stories. What is your Blood God origin story?
I basically, you told me, hey, I need someone to come on the show, and I said yes, as I recall. I said, all right. And Bob's your uncle.
First time Nadia and I ever interacted was when she made a thread about freelance writing in the games industry on Talking Time and basically talked about how hard and miserable it is. And I was like, wow, that's terrifying.
Yes, but at least
Anyway.
it was rewarding back then.
Yeah.
Oh, Djardovich, but they changed his name here.
Yeah, he's Spiritovich now, or
Spiritovich.
Spiritovich. Yeah.
Djardovich. I like Djardovich better.
I chronically refer to all of the characters under their original SNES names. So
What
Yeah,
is
same.
this from soft ass looking boss fight right here?
so this is the
Spiritovich,
fight where
Bronze Lance.
Mallow pretty much takes over. By the way, because Mallow has this amazing ability called Shocker now. So
Shock
lot of
me,
Mallow.
shock me, shock me. Yeah, when Spiritovich goes down, they're gonna say, I'm sorry to some character you've never heard of, and then we're gonna get multiple hours of YouTube videos about the deep lore.
I don't think there's any deep lore so much about Mario RPG. Or unless you're talking about it, unless it's a FromSoft joke. In which case, yes, you're absolutely right.
I haven't played this
Yes.
game, but I theorized that you could come up with some sort of dark theory, like Mario's actually dead or whatever. That seems
Mario's
to exist
dead.
for every Nintendo game.
He's got a hole in his face.
Mario died in Mario 2. He never woke up from
Mario
that
died for your
dream.
sins.
It was a dream of infinity, an endless dream.
It
That's
was,
why in 3 he turns to the camera and says, all the world's a play, and Mario's on the stage.
Djardovich is gone.
he's gone. Yep. I saw a question in chat just now about basically like what is Johnny, because there's a face in there, and I actually feel like Johnny is a Heartless. That is my current headcanon.
Oh, I always thought he just skinned a shark or stepped inside of it and said, "I live here now."
I mean, he's probably still a shark, but I like the idea that Johnny is a Heartless.
First
like that too.
newspaper headline. What is the origin of Johnny the shark?
Sup with that shark? That's my headline.
Newsflash.
Is
need a
Johnny
heart
a
to
real
live.
shark? Oh my goodness.
Come here, Paul.
Oh, by the way, there's a really funny cutscene when you originally come back to Seaside Town after beating Johnny. The village elder asks you if you give him the star, and if you refuse, he goes and tortures the elder, and he will go and just like continue tickling him and will not let you into town until you give him the star, basically.
And I think if you do that, the elder gets pretty pissed off at you.
Yeah, he will have different dialogue when you do actually go and save them, which is really
He's like,
fun.
"Do you know I went through?"
Yeah. Oh. I'm just going to buy a couple weapons here, and then there's one little thing I'm going to do. This is one of the few, again, speedrun things. I'm about to go to an area where there are some whirlpool encounters with some enemies in them.
Oh, yes, I know those places.
Yeah, so for some reason, if you talk to Mushroom Boy before you go do that, you can skip the first one, and nobody really knows why. It just, like, that's a flag in the game, so that's why I did that. Yeah, just a fun little thing there. But yeah, we're off to Land's End, and we're going to go through a couple of different areas here.
Wow, you're a pretty low level. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but that's impressive.
Yeah, we really don't do any fights other than the required ones and the XP stars. So we make it work. The super suit definitely helps. Whoops.
What is the super suit? I don't think I ever got it.
So it is plus 50 to all stats, and any character can equip it.
And you get it for doing 100 jumps?
Yep, as long as you do 100 super jumps on any fight, when you go to Monstro Town, you can talk to one of the NPCs and he'll give it to you.
Right.
It is most optimal for the speedrun to do them on Johnny, so that is kind of where everybody does them. I'm also going to get an item called the Attack Scarf, which is plus 30. I don't know if it's to all stats or not. The only thing about the Attack Scarf that's a little different is only Mario can equip that, so... Yeah, there's some very overpowered equipment in this game that is supposed to be kind of like I don't know if it's a secret, but it's more of like a reward for, like, you talk to the NPCs and they'll kind of like give you hints that there are, rewards for doing certain things.
Yeah.
But, speedrunners know all when it comes to stuff like that, so.
Speedrunners know all.
It's funny how much of the, a lot of the older games sometimes when people are looking for maybe new things or just stuff that they haven't really considered before, they end up going to like game facts, just like all of us when we're trying to do like a completionist playthrough or go back and play an old game where they don't really like signpost it very well or stuff like that. So kind of a funny thing. I really hope I freebie that because I shouldn't have used it. Okay. I'll figure it out. I'm supposed to have 2 ice bombs, and now I only have 1. But that is on me. I will be fine. I will make it work. So.
So did you speedrun the original Mario RPG as well, like the SNES version?
So I've done some speedruns of the original, but contrary to what I just did on Johnny, I can't do 100 super jumps in the original version. It's just the pace is totally different, and it's just, I mean, I probably could learn to do it if I really wanted to, but I've run the game, but I did it on like an intermediate route, I guess is what you would call it. So the original SNES version also has a really great randomizer. So
yeah,
I did a lot of the randomizer, which is very, very fun. It's actually how I got into speedrunning originally, period, is I got into the Final Fantasy IV randomizer, which came out in like 2018, I want to say. At least that's when I kind of heard about it. So randomizer communities are very cool. They're a really good way to continually play a lot of older games that have gotten those good randomizers made for them. So kind of like speedrunning, it gives you an excuse to kind of go back and play games over and over again that if you were just playing the original versions, you may or may not want to do that. So there's another XP star back here. You have to give this guy 400 coins to get it, though. And now I'm going to go ahead and defeat some more lizards.
Sorry, lizards. We like you.
They're good lizards.
I think it's interesting that it goes into the little cutscene, or the little splash screen to show that you're being upgraded.
Oh, where you pick your... Yeah, you get to pick what you get when you level up, and for the speedrun purposes, it's pretty straightforward. Mario occasionally will get magic, but mostly he gets attack. Mallow always gets magic. Bowser always gets attack. Peach always gets HP, and Geno gets 2 HP, and then the rest attack. So this is another really cool speedrun thing that I'm about to do, hopefully. Something new to the Switch version that is not possible in the original. So you can jump on that guy's head and then jump on the statue head and then get over that. And it saves some dialogue, and this door is just open when you get down here, so you don't have to wait for it to open. And one of the few new things in the Switch version, which is kind of fun. So, and thank goodness there's not more stuff like that, because I kind of just mentioned with regards to the super jumps, and I've kind of mentioned at the beginning of the run, like I'm not much of like a platformer style person. So generally speaking, when it comes to speedruns, I prefer as close to glitchless as possible. So the fact that the Switch version is much more of like a glitchless speedrun for the most part is definitely my my cup of tea, I would say.
It's this guy again.
It's Balome, he's back.
Everybody likes this guy.
So Mallow has an ability called Snowy now. It's very powerful. This drops a giant snowman. Again, part of the reason why Mallow is good in the remake is not just because of the powerful spells that he gets kind of locked in with, but also because of the chain. He gets extra... there's a big magic boost that he provides to everybody and then gets to utilize himself as well, so... Just becomes kind of like the MVP for those two reasons. Oh, I'm gonna get cloned here.
Now you got eaten.
I did get eaten.
Hey.
Very briefly eaten.
Mario is sour?
I wouldn't have guessed that, but yeah. Mallow is delicious.
I can believe that. It's like
I don't
cotton
remember
candy.
what the dialogue is for all of them, but they all have their own unique dialogue.
You get splinters from eating Geno.
All right, so now I'm in Monster Town, so I'm going to go ahead and collect my super suit and my attack scarf. Talking to this dog right here.
I like the dog.
They really did a great job with the NPC and like monster sprites as well, and they just still look exactly like they looked like in the original version, just very kind of upscaled in a way that is, I don't know, very cool that they were able to keep the original designs as closely as they did. So
Thank you, Duck Meat, for the Incredibles quote, because that's all I've been thinking this entire time.
yes. Honey, where's my super suit?
Why do you need it?
Because I need it to live.
My evening's in danger.
All right, we are about to embark on Operation Get Mustache Over the Cliff. So
Oh, we've got some more donations here.
Let's go.
Drew
Go for it.
RWX matched me on that $1 for every jump. We got a $5 donation here from Rabbit Hike saying crush it Blaze. Billa put in $10 saying for the 100 jumps, here's 100 dimes. Wish I could give more. Hey, look, giving any amount is good enough. We don't judge here.
Very much so.
That being said, Istros did give $500 right after that with no comment. So shout outs to Istros as well. There was no easy way to segue out of that one.
Oh my gosh.
And DRS Link with $100 as well. I'm gonna assume that's for the 100 jumps. If it's not, you know, we'll just say it is because that's nice.
What are we at?
We are now sitting at. Oh my gosh, I gotta look at the total here. We have definitely passed our day one raise total. We are now at $16,274. Good Lord.
Heck
Crushing
yeah.
it. We are like $4,000 over like where we were last year, which is just astonishing.
That's
Seriously.
incredible.
Yeah, very, very cool. And thank you to everybody who matched on the super suit. I don't know if I got a chance to call that out as well and prepare everybody for what I was planning, but I mean it's a good marathon tradition for Super Mario RPG to donate the super jump number. So glad that all worked out. All right, I'm gonna probably improvise on this fight a little bit. Just got to think about how I want to do this. Because I used an extra ice bomb, and this is a fight where you're supposed to use an ice bomb, so I'm going to figure out a way to work through that.
Sorry about that.
The Shy Guy really likes the piranha plants.
They're his friend.
I'm actually sort of surprised that Square put in so much original content in Mario RPG, because we mentioned that the lore was a bit limited when Mario RPG came out, but at the same time, I don't know if they were necessarily wanting for enemy types, characters, that sort of thing. For example, I don't think the Koopalings ever show up in this game.
No, they don't. Yeah, I always thought that Square Enix, as great as this game is, it always kind of had that air of, you know, Square Enix being like, well, we know how to tell a story. You know, Nintendo, all they can do is haha, rescue the princess. So they kind
We're
of
still best buds at the time, though Square was on its way
I
out.
wonder, it was probably starting to fall apart.
Oh yeah. Oh, Duck Meat praises your Ash Ketchum hat, by the way, Nadia.
Thank you.
Nadia's hat game is crazy. Just, you know.
Very on point.
I have good hat game sometimes.
You win. Perfect.
Yeah, that wasn't how I normally do that fight, but I just had to compensate for accidentally using one too many ice bombs. But if only the game had given me a freebie on that second one that I used, it wouldn't have been an issue. But that's okay. The game has been a little bit stingy with the freebies tonight, which is, for those who don't know, a freebie is whenever you use an item. It's a little different in the original version, but in the remake, you always have a 1 in 3 chance to get a freebie, which is basically you just get that item back in your inventory. So 1 in 3 is pretty high. We can usually
really high.
Getting a certain amount of them back. In the original, it is not. The percentage for like the really powerful items is much lower. I think it's maybe like 1 in 10 or something like that. So that's kind of that's a change to the remake as well. Whoops. Excuse you, Mario. There we go.
Yeah, it seemed to be very frequent in the original, and even more frequent in the remake here, especially
Yeah.
towards the end of the game.
Yep. Yeah, it is for sure. Come on. I'm struggling tonight with these. That's okay. There we go.
That was always a tricky jump.
Oh, yeah. As previously mentioned, not great at platforming, but I'm trying my best out here, so.
This is a hard game to platform. The remake less so, but the original could be a real bear sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I think for what it is, it's one of the. It has very good platforming mechanics once you kind of learn how they work. Like they're consistent.
Yeah.
But it's just not something you're accustomed to doing in like a turn-based RPG. So.
Exactly.
But that's just how much I love this game. Is I'm willing to power through that and do stuff that makes me uncomfortable.
I love Dodo though.
hang out with hang out with these awesome characters and hey Arnold lady here with the dead bird.
Hey
on her
Arnold lady, yes she is.
Yeah, Dodo not fitting through the door is pretty
You
great.
just had that stupid tin hat on. He's
Oh,
like a toucan.
Yeah, so there's something I want to share about that when we get to that mini game in a second. That is I find very funny, but you kind of have to see it visually to.
Oh, awesome.
Appreciate it. I'll wait and share that in just a second. All right, I'm just gonna buy some weapon upgrades here, and then we're gonna go do said mini game. They did change the name of the Mario statue in the remake, which is kind of unfortunate. In the original, it used to be called the Plumber's Lament, which was just an incredible name for a statue. And
I'm really into that.
yeah, and in the remake, they changed it to I think it's called like Searching for Lost Brother or something. But I think
Plumber's Lament is quite a bit funnier, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no reason to do it either. It's not.
Yeah, it's a strange change. Yeah.
I think they were maybe leaning into the fact that just like Luigi's not in this game, and like just in general in the Mario RPGs, except for the Mario and Luigi games, like Luigi's just kind of not really a part of the game at all. So that's my best guess, but they wanted a Luigi reference, I think.
That seems like the case.
Yeah.
Maybe Nintendo has become sort of more, not enthralled, but bigger fans of Luigi over the years as Luigi has sort of become...
Even though the year of Luigi was their worst financial year ever. So good for them, I guess.
I should actually correct myself. Luigi is in this game. Luigi is leading the parade in the end credits, but yeah,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Game itself. Also, I think a few folks in chat may have just realized that Mallow's not actually a tadpole. Either that, or it's just an incredible coincidence that there's all these tadpole frogs here in the clouds. So.
Oh yeah, very fluffy frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Special species.
Yeah, Arcati says there's a wish from Luigi in Star Hill. I believe that.
That's true.
I haven't read all the wishes in the remake. I'm sure they're pretty good. Yeah, we're inspecting the statue. Got the Valentina's laugh in the background of this track is just a riot. And now that you realize it's there, you can't unhear it. I'm sorry. I've done this.
Oh no, absolutely. The seal is broken.
Yes.
Oh,
So
Dodo.
yeah, so Dodo here. I've played a lot of the SNES version of this game because of the randomizer, and one of the things in the SNES version is the helmet falls down over his eyes when he pecks.
That's right.
In the
Yeah.
animation. So it's very obvious that like he can't tell that Mario is jumping in a statue because he literally can't see when he's in the act of pecking. And in the remake, for whatever reason, it's so easy they could have animated it this way, but they didn't. They don't make the helmet come down over his eyes, so I guess it's like
That's such a cool, subtle touch that maybe it was easily missed.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't even realize that till you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's one of those little subtle things that you only notice when you've played the game a lot. So yeah, it just kind of like bangs around on his head, doesn't go over his eyes. This minigame isn't too bad, by the way. You just have to be able to count to 4. So it's they're all on quarter notes.
That sounds a bit hard.
Counting to 4. That's beyond my ability. I'm sorry.
Dodo is going to do the only out of bounds in the run here.
That's so great.
Little speedrunning humor for everybody.
So my theory on Square is that I think that creators they're just a creative bunch, game developers, and probably they wanted to put their own stamp on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not the most interesting answer, but it's the first thing that comes into my mind.
I think for this game in particular, Square wanted to throw in as many things as they could to remind everybody that they also helped make this game. And
Oh, for sure.
To me, that's part of it. Like, they didn't want to just make a Mario game.
This
They
isn't
wanted to-
just Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah. We also helped.
Hmm.
That's my theory, anyway. So.
Yeah, it's a
'Cause
good
you kind of
theory.
see the same thing in Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I've
Mario's
always
missing.
kind of understood the Kingdom Hearts stuff to be sort of Nomura getting around the licensing restrictions of Disney whenever possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're very intense.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of, I've definitely kind of looked or watched and seen some stuff on YouTube about how that all came into being, and it sure seems like the fact that Kingdom Hearts got made is a miracle. When you think about how
One
protective
time
Disney is
I
of their
interviewed Nomura some years ago. He basically vented a lot about Disney's like creative control.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's wild to me
Alright.
then that like Kingdom Hearts doesn't really use a lot of Final Fantasy stuff as much these days. I guess maybe going original is better in that situation for them, but I do miss the days when Final
explained
Fantasy characters were
why,
more
right?
prevalent. Why
He's
there's
kind of explained why Final Fantasy went away. Like, people have asked him multiple times.
yeah, but I don't know. I liked having Squall and Yuffie and all them in there. It was fun.
Hmm.
So we are fighting a giant egg right now. This is going to be Birdo. Birdo says trans rights,
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
as we all should.
the Super Mario 2 connection.
There it is.
We
found it. I don't know why I didn't think of that one sooner.
Birdo's hatching out of the egg. It's a metaphor.
It is. Oh, nice block.
Thank you. You're just too cute.
Wow.
She reassembled her egg.
I guess that's how eggs work.
Indeed.
I wonder
Bye.
if he could reassemble an egg.
Hmm.
I think I've
Charity
seen it.
incentive. Eric tries to put an egg back together. I have to crack it and then glue it back together.
That's a pretty good
You can do it.
joke, honestly.
A good yolk. Is that what I
Hey.
There's some good trans references in there.
Mm-hmm. I've just never actually thought about the process of like if you tried to put the cracked egg back together, and that's like hilarious to me for some reason. Yeah, all the king's horses, all the king's men. Yeah, couldn't they couldn't
Couldn't
put
put
Humpty
Birdo
Dumpty
back.
back together. Yeah, can't put Birdo back again.
Yeah. I love Dodo here acting like my dog when somebody's at the door.
Mm-hmm. That's Poe when I'm on the podcast.
Seriously.
Dodo just needs some attention.
I'm simply going to leave. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
The flying shy guy who's just like, yeah, I'm out of here too. So real for that.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah. It's the Batman
That is
henchman.
that is
big
Dodo's
boy.
vibe for sure. All right, so I'm gonna do this XP star. I'd really. Oh, he came over here. Nice. I was gonna say I'd really like to get that back bird because I accidentally shorted Mario some XP earlier, so I
He
should be good
just
now.
booted his ass out the door. He doesn't do anything. He's just going to lunch.
Gotta move a little
no.
faster around here, Dodo.
Speaking of Chrono Trigger, right there, that was Ozzy's Castle. Just all I did in Ozzy's Castle right here.
Fall.
Yep.
I like how he does the stuff in midair, like there was the poses as he falls.
Yeah, that's always a good bit. All right, so it is time to return the rightful Prince Mallow to his throne here. So this is kind of a funny fight. It can be a little frustrating because Valentina uses a lot of different attacks and is kind of
I think
has
they
some weird
nerfed her
timing.
boob jiggle too.
They did nerf her boob jiggle for sure. That was an interesting feature that they decided to include in the original game. But Mallow is going to steal whoever my middle character is here and kind of just drag them away for a one-on-one fight to start it. So we've got Mallow in the middle slot intentionally. Mallow also has the Troopa medal equipped, which was the thing I got when I scaled the hill. And that naturally has an attack boost, so when I use this firebomb, it's going to do double damage because of the Troopa medal there. It's the same boost you would get if like you use the. I use Geno boost a lot in the run, and it's the same boost that you would get if you used Geno boost. So
Cool.
yep, it kind of has it naturally. All right, so now we get to see what Valentina decides to do.
Somebody,
But yeah.
Gerard WX pointed out that somebody did a complete history of Birdo. Of Birdo's gender, so to speak.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Geno's, it's okay that Geno died. It's mostly just annoying that Valentina used the abilities that she did. I always have Bowser kind of on standby as like a backup character if somebody goes down. The thing is, now that I have the super suit, it's very difficult for me to die. Like, I don't want to say that I can't die because that would definitely be tempting fate in a way that I don't want to do. But the super suit is as super as it
Who's wearing it? Just Mario?
Mario. Mario is currently wearing it. Yeah. I will move it to Mallow for the volcano actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Mallow is overall the MVP of the run, but there's a couple spots where it's better to have it on Mario. So. But yeah, this fight is done. We are done in Nimbus Land for now, and we'll be able to go jump into an active volcano soon.
As everyone should.
And we just hit the 2-hour mark on the run, so I want to make sure I just kind of call that out and make sure everybody is taking good care of yourselves while you're watching.
Make sure to hydrate.
Stretch. Walk around.
Do all the things that I can't do right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's another pretty long cutscene here. Honestly, kind of how I feel sometimes when, well, I will say specifically when I get to do stuff like this. It was probably a little worse last year, but I feel like you all have been very, very welcoming and nice. It feels weird saying nice to me, but you've been very, very welcoming to me, and so. When I kind of did this last year, I was kind of like the king of Nimbus Land who just wants to get everybody's autograph and get to be in the presence of famous people. But no, a lot has changed for me in the last year or two, and a lot of really good stuff
That's
for
awesome.
me, and it's a lot of stuff
That's
that
amazing.
speedrunning and being a part of charity events like this is kind of brought into my life, and so I always love to take the opportunity to do this kind of thing and share this passion of mine with people, and not just the fact that I like speedrunning these games, but they can be a vehicle for doing so much good in the world, and being able to work with the marathons that I do it's the best part of my life, and I'm really glad that I get to help out with you all raising money in the community as well here. So
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
Heck yeah.
my other origin story I will just share really quick is I was in the room in 2019 at Summer Games Done Quick, and Puexel was running Chrono Trigger
Oh, cool.
as and it was the first time that GDQ ever hit $3 million, and I was in the room, and
Wow.
it was about one or 2 in the morning,
Mhm.
and I've never been in a room that electric before in my life. It was the coolest thing, and I was kind of just getting into speedrunning myself at that point, not just as someone who does the runs, but also somebody who is very interested in organizing the events and volunteering and doing all of that stuff as well. So that was kind of the moment for me that really just solidified that speedrunning is a thing that I want to be a part of my life, because these experiences are just too cool. And how neat is it that we get to like use video games to do so much good in the world? I think that that's something that a lot of
Indeed.
people really struggle to figure out. Like they want to do good things and they want to help out, but they don't know how to like transform the things that they are passionate about into action. And I think speedrunning and stuff like this is just such a great way to do that. So
Totally agree. I think it's really genuinely wonderful.
Mhm.
and I just want more people to maybe understand that aspect of it as well, because speedrunning isn't really just a thing for speedrunners. It really should be, in my opinion, a thing that is for gamers of all types. And if you are one of those folks that just kind of tunes into GDQ when that's on and that's the only speedrunning that you really expose yourself to, I'm really glad that I'm really glad that that is something that you found, and that's really cool. And there's a lot of smaller events out there as well that if you're ever interested and want to find one that maybe is a little closer to something that you're passionate about, like Trans Lifeline, for example. The other event that I organize, Trans Lifeline, has been our charity for coming up on 4 years now. So it's a cause that is really important to me and communities and people that I know. So, but not just that. Like, there's other ones as well. There's plenty of communities of speedrunners out there that are welcoming and open and maybe tailored to the kind of person that you are, the things that you want to get involved in. So, yeah. RPG Limit Break's another great example. If you're not aware of RPG Limit Break, it is basically GDQ, but only RPGs. And it's an event I've been very lucky to be a part of over the years, and just can't recommend it enough. It's just some of the best people in speedrunning.
RPG Limit Break is wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
It's
watching
such
it every year. It's so much
cool
fun.
event. It's usually in May, just as a heads up for anybody who wants to tentatively find a spot for it on your calendars. It's a good time, so.
We absolutely should.
I am needing to get away from these individuals here.
I love this guy.
They made him look like Guy Fieri in this for some reason.
They did.
I don't know why, but it's too funny.
Welcome to Flavortown. I taste like a mushroom. Spoiler. alert.
Ooh, all right. That is a hard platforming sequence, and that was very satisfying to get on the first try, so that's cool. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one. And now we get to fight the big derpy dragon.
Yes, the Tsar Dragon, which was also a monster in Final Fantasy VI that was cut at the last minute until it was
Also a villain from Mario World.
That was a Blard.
Oh, it has the same head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
same head.
that was my take on it always.
So it kind of fits, right?
Yeah.
I forgot to do something very important. All right. Well, I'm glad I have this extra Coca-Cola now because I'm going to need to use it. I should have refilled my flower points beforehand, and I just forgot, which is fine. Oh, nice miss, Mario. I haven't had any of those yet, but characters can absolutely miss on bosses.
I love his tiny little feet. Usually covered by the fireballs, but you can see them.
Yeah. Alright, and yeah, Mallow is wearing the super suit right now, which is why Mallow's doing just absurd amounts of damage to everything. Alright, and then he's back. This is another thing that I guess I haven't played all the Paper Mario games, but boy, it sure seemed like they like to have a boss that dies and then comes back.
Oh yeah.
I choose to believe that this is a reference, or that every Altana is a reference to this. You know, there's no way of proving it, but I believe that every Altana is a reference to this moment.
I like it. Alright, and now we get to do the fight that is probably... So, if you had told me they were going to make a Mario remake, and asked me what is the one boss that they changed because it was a cultural reference that didn't apply anymore in 2023, I would have told you it is the Power Rangers boss. But
Yeah.
nope, they absolutely left it in exactly like it is when the Power Rangers haven't done anything substantial, as best I know, in quite a while. I know there's been a couple, like, retelling remake movies. I actually watched one of them. It wasn't completely terrible, but I think a lot of them have been. But
The actually, they were doing quite well. Had a season every season. I think only until very recently Hasbro bought them, and unfortunately, the president who died, like, was the one who wanted the property. So now Hasbro's just auctioning everything off. It's really depressing to see.
The Power Rangers do have a beat 'em up coming out.
Okay.
It's time for
See,
the Power
that's what
Rangers to be
Hasbro's
back.
going to do, though. They're just going to just do Gen 1 nostalgia until the whole thing sinks into oblivion, I guess. And actually, the last couple of seasons of Power Rangers is actually really good. I liked it, and I'm not a huge Power Ranger fan, so it's a shame, like, they get their feet under them, and, well.
I always liked that one of the best MVC spiritual successors we had for the longest time was a Power Rangers tag fighter, Battle for the Grid, in which the Quantum Ranger was basically just Virgil from MVC3, and it went kind of hard. It was like Virgil and Dante a little bit too, but yeah. I Power Rangers, I do think there is some element of timelessness, at least when it comes to the nostalgia that this game is gunning for. Yeah. Like, this game could be big for small children as well, but I do feel like it's definitely gunning for some nostalgia of people who experienced this back in the day.
But it's also it's just a strange bit of timing, because this was supposed to reference, I suppose, Super Sentai in general. And we only just happened to be getting Power Rangers around the same time. So ourselves being, like, kind of dumb North American kids, like, oh, this is a reference to the Power Rangers, not this is a reference to Sentai.
Hey,
so it's
raid
just
from Play It Forward Gaming with a party of 7. Thank you so much.
Yay.
welcome on in.
It was, I think it was sort of a serendipitous coincidence. Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Power Rangers has been
strange
around
thing.
for like 3 years in America by that point, I think.
Yeah, it was
Sentai had obviously been a thing in Japan for much longer than that.
exactly.
So,
Which is why I always laugh when I hear that apparently in Japan, like, our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was just some rando season that they, like, you know, just considered average.
same.
Like, yeah.
it's the same with Voltron, honestly. Voltron was called Go Lion in Japan. Considered to be a very mid sort of Getter Robo knockoff, but it became the thing over here because it's what we got. And
there
I
was
say this as someone who was a religious Voltron watcher at the age of 4.
I would watch it, but when I saw it was the car Voltron, I'd turn it off.
Shoutouts to Drew RWX in the chat mentioning Go-Go Loser Ranger, which is a manga that is now currently being adapted into an anime that is basically like what if the Power Rangers crossed over with the boys and the Power Rangers were actually like bad people, and one of the villain of the week monster dudes gets fed up with it and tries to take him down from the inside. It's quite good, is what I have heard.
Is this gonna be? Is this like another gritty Power Rangers reboot? That
it's not gritty. It's as gritty as like anime and manga, like shonen stuff can get. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like the boys level of gritty. That's just like a good reference point for like, oh, the superheroes are actually bad, that sort of thing.
yeah.
There's a very disturbing Power Rangers video out there somewhere of what looks like a very typical Power Rangers episode, and they're fighting the monster and it's all going fine. They're making their quips, and then all of a sudden the monster impales one of them through the chest.
Yo.
And then proceeds to kill all of them one by one in like the most gruesome way possible. It's really messed up, honestly.
Kat, where you been going on the internet lately?
I don't know.
Can you surrender your history?
I don't even know how I found this. But it really stood out in my mind. Holy cow. I think it was supposed to be a little bit of a satire of these shows where these teenage superheroes are fighting these absolutely horrifying monsters. And the monsters obviously are always taken easy to destroy. And you never really feel like they're particularly risking life and limb because they're having fun. They've got superpowers, whatever.
The good guys always win.
That's very, very The Boys.
That's why I was thinking of it when you mentioned The Boys. Yeah.
I'm still a little stunned over here. I'm working through it.
It's out there on the internet if you want to go watch and be disturbed.
Apparently, yeah. So how many stars do we have at this point? Was that 6 I saw? Or
we have 6, yeah. We're about to head to Bowser's Keep, just for everybody who is following along. And there's some fun sequences in Bowser's Keep. I'm going to be doing the 2 puzzle doors and the 2, I guess you'd say like platforming doors, because I don't want to do the battle doors. They are very slow.
Yeah, they are.
So I'll be able to just... Hopefully I'll get the 4 I want the first time around. It never works that way, but I can hope so.
I do like how they adapt that from Bowser's Castle in Mario World. That was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the OST for this game is phenomenal, especially the remade OST.
Shimamura is just such a cool story. It's so great to see her getting more and more recognition these days, and I know she got a Lifetime Achievement Award recently, and you just kind of look into how all that developed and transpired over the years, and it's incredible. So
we ran an excellent little interview with Yoko Shimamura right around the time of GDC, actually, so you should go check it out.
We just got on the bus, by the way, which we were talking about references we never got before, but you know how most clouds end with the word bus? That was a connection I finally made. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but of course like the cloud people would have a bus. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Cumulus. I don't know any more names of clouds. I took a course in college that was about like meteorology, climate sciences, and stuff like that. I was terrible at it. No, I was so bad at it. Yeah.
How come? It's not interesting to you?
It wasn't that it wasn't interesting. It's just like sometimes you just have a subject that no matter how much you study and pay attention and work on it, like it just cannot get through. And there was something about like looking at clouds and being like, oh, this is this kind of cloud because it has this on it and it's got these conditions. It just like never worked. Even like geology, I got through geology way easier than I got through that. Like rocks were a little bit easier to understand than clouds.
No, interesting. I always liked meteorology and climate and stuff like that.
So I have a question. Who of the three of you do we think knows the most about Super Mario RPG? Is it Nadia?
It's definitely
Probably me.
Nadia.
Yeah.
Should we make Nadia take the quiz when it's time for the quiz?
Yes.
I can help, but I'm not guaranteeing any good results.
What do you think, chat? Should we make Nadia take the quiz?
It's better than doing
No,
this
take
part.
the
I would never
quiz.
be able to finish this. As a professional geologist, I can confirm that rocks are better than clouds. That sounds a little biased.
No, they're right.
Sounds like something a representative from Big Rock would say.
Yeah.
Big rock.
By the way, I'm absolutely looking at a guide to do this because I don't.
Oh, I was
remember
gonna
how to
say,
kick
this is
these
like
balls ever.
These
Incredibly.
look like Maltesers.
Yeah, it looks so aesthetically pleasing to watch that. Like there's little jumping puzzles and stuff like that.
I really do think the more I think about it, this game. Oh, here's the quiz. I'll get back to that thought in just a second. All right,
Quiz
Nadia.
time.
Nadia.
All right, Nadia.
Dun, dun.
There we go. All right.
All right. Which enemy is only found on the sunken ship?
Mr. Kipper.
Reach-
I
Oh,
didn't
that
even
was
have to
wrong.
bother.
All right, next one
Uh,
though. It's okay. You got a second.
Current juice.
Current juice. All right, that's correct.
Whoa.
How much does a female beetle sell
Oh,
for?
I think that's 1 coin. I think the male is 50.
Okay. What does Balome really like to turn people into?
Scarecrows.
Okay.
Hate that thing.
What's the chef's name in Marrymore?
Forte.
Wow.
Forte.
Okay. What word do Bezos use when they sing?
I think that's La Di Da, isn't it? Like, we just saw him.
Oh, what does Birdo come out of? We know this one.
An eggshell.
Well, an egg.
All right. I think this is the last one. Booster
Oh,
is what
God.
generation?
Oh, shoot. I think it's...
Oh, I guess
thought it
there's
was
a
8.
timer. I didn't know there was a timer. I'm sorry.
That's
What is
okay.
the first monster you see in the pipe vault?
Lava Bubble, I think.
That was
Oh.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're lost at this point, but it's okay because it's just the first one. So, oh, it's still going.
Jinx.
Might is Dinah's what?
Brother. Little brother. Ah.
Okay, I will say that was not you. If there wasn't a time limit, we absolutely would have passed that. So, thank you for letting me put you on the spot and making you do that.
You're very welcome.
All right, we're gonna get a lot of the same questions here probably. So, yeah, they all like bratwurst. I love that answer.
Who doesn't?
That one is Crusher. Okay. So the interesting thing about that, one interesting thing about that, I will say, this is not difficult, but y'all feel free to play along. I will get the answers in my
On
head.
travel with these.
With the Super Nintendo speedrun, it is much faster to run the game in Japanese. So not only do people have to learn the quiz, they also have to learn the quiz answers in Japanese, which is just very, like, I think
That's
stuff like
really
that is the
intense,
reason
actually.
why I never committed to running the Super Nintendo version at a serious level, because
There's that always that extra level of competition, huh?
if you want to be the best, you gotta do stuff like that, and I'm perfectly content being just okay.
I think I know it. I think I know it. No, I'm gonna
What do you
put
think?
my. It's. Oh, I'm so off.
It was 46. I didn't want to miss that one. Otherwise, we'd have to do the quiz a third time.
I was
so.
I was putting it up. I
Oh.
want you to put the right answer, and then I just get shamed for having the wrong answer over here. I got 31. I was way off.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm
missing
glad
a
we
lot
didn't.
of barrels.
That explains why you kind of got a little silent there. All right, so that is third. That is fourth. So 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Which is pretty not optimal, but that's fine. Yeah, the places are always tied to particular answers, so you just have to know which answer corresponds to which place. So, yeah, all right. Now we're just gonna get. Oh, this is one of the battle doors. We don't want to do those. You can back out of them, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
In the original, you are stuck until
Yeah.
you fail out, basically. So, I just missed that jump. That's okay. Now this one, they made this very, very difficult in the remake. I don't know why.
Yeah, I had to try.
Something
I had a lot
about
of
how
trouble
it's
with
like these things are like homing bombs.
that. Mm-hmm.
They're pretty difficult, and the blind spots are so much bigger for. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was close. So that is like my least favorite room in the entire thing now. Yeah, that second barrel quiz, it's actually pretty... There's one pattern where it doesn't do this, but basically the main pattern that you'll get like 80% of the time or something like that, there's exactly 40 barrels on the... except for the ones that are on the very top. So you just have to count the ones on the top, and then you just kind of sit there for a while and wait to give your answer.
Much platforming in this.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Really want to get the chest. Okay, that's fine. I don't need money any. Well, actually, maybe I do. I need money? No, I'm good. I do need to fight Kulex, but I should have plenty of extra money for that. So, I needed that Coca-Cola though, so that was that's an easy one to get. Okay, and this is our last room, and then we'll be on to the next part of the dungeon here. So a little trick you can do here, once you get on that one, you can just fall off and it'll actually move you up in the room.
Huh.
Which is
Nice.
Then we got the Donkey Kong room.
Yes.
A reminder to folks as we head towards the end of this stream. We've still got some time left in this, but as we get near the end, we do have a raffle for a physical PS5. As opposed to a non-physical PS5. I don't know why I
I was
said
gonna
that.
say as opposed to a.
As opposed to an
PS5
imaginary
has-
PS5.
Imaginary.
And whoever wins the PS5 will get some cool Sony Pride stuff as well.
Oh, heck
Including
yeah.
a hat and a shirt,
That's
all
a
that good stuff.
$20 minimum donation to be included in that raffle. You don't have to be in the chat like the codes and stuff to get it. We will email the winner, but that is a $20 minimum donation to be included in that raffle. Eric, what's your thoughts on Mario RPG so far, and has this run made you more interested in playing it? Yeah, it seems like a really cool game. I've never been uninterested in playing it, but the thing about that is you got to find time, and time is always a
Exactamo.
premium. So that's the secret behind the Sunday streams, is it forces me to set aside 2 hours every Sunday to play old games.
Now, I will say the one nice thing about Super Mario RPG is it is pretty short compared to
It is.
most other games, even from that era. So it's probably, even if you're just kind of playing casually and not, taking extra encounters and talking to a bunch of extra characters, it's probably only going to take you maybe 12 to 15 hours to finish this game. So
Oh, okay.
it's not a super long game.
That's the nice thing. Very short.
It is a short
Oh, I just
RPG.
got
Oh,
finished.
squash.
It's okay.
Dead.
Oh no. I have to get to my favorite boss in the entire game coming up here.
Favorite
okay.
boss.
It's Okay Boomer.
that was a name they gave him, wasn't it? It's just what a choice.
One of the more forgettable character bosses that they made. I don't know what he's really supposed
Yeah,
to
it's
be.
kind of like a weird design to begin with.
Yeah. The other thing that's very annoying, this is like the one fight in the remake that is really annoying because there's so many these chandeliers. There's so many light sources that it actually there's so much lag in this fight. It's almost it's so much harder to do your timed hits. And I just missed one already, so which is not a big deal, but generally don't want to do that. And when he's in his red form, he's a little bit weaker to... That was really bad blocking on my part. When he's in his red form, he's weak to special attacks, so that's why I'm just trying to use Mallow and Mario at the moment. But he might have a blue form as well in a minute.
Yeah, he tends to change.
Oh my gosh! All right. We're good. I'm not really in any fear of dying. It's just stuff's gonna take longer. More time to donate to Trans Lifeline.
Exactly. Get those donations
Absolutely.
in the raffle. Let's see if we've got any new ones to shout out here. We have $200 from Chowbot saying "Slay Queens." Let's go. And $20 from Lightfoot. Looks like you're getting in for that raffle. I think it's $20. $20 for a good cause, and you got a chance.
When you get your PS5, you can also play 2 of the best RPGs to come out recently in Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. So
there you go.
Big FF16 fan over here.
I am a big FF16 fan. That is another game I'm actually learning to speedrun right now. I bet the speedrun
for that's pretty fun.
I just got to commentate it earlier this weekend. It's like nonstop action for 8 hours pretty much. So
you're dancing.
So it's like an 8-hour run or so.
Yeah. So the world record is and this is on story mode, which is the easier difficulty. But the world record for just if you were to start a normal new game and play through from beginning to end is just under 7 hours right now. But my time is much higher than that. My best time's at 8:34. And all of the runners that I was helping with their event this weekend that were doing it got about a 7.5 hour runs. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think that game has gotten a lot of criticism for things that maybe it does deserve, but also the more I play it, and especially the core game, I am just very, very impressed with that game and what they accomplished. So
that combat system's so fun.
Maybe next year we can make Sunday just a Final Fantasy 16 speedrun.
Well, the other one that I'm trying to learn right now, which might be a little bit more conducive to that, if y'all do decide you want to do another speedrun as part of the event, I'm gonna focus on this. Oh, I missed it twice. Darn. Is Final Fantasy 6. I am learning Final Fantasy 6 speedrun right now too. So.
Dope.
Oh, nice.
Moonblazewolf, is Flame Fatales happening right now?
Yes, Flame Fatale started today.
There
are some really, really wild speedrun events happening this weekend, and Flame Fatales is all next week. So for those who don't know, Flame Fatales it's the summer event of the Frame Fatales, which is the all-femme speedrunning events put on by Games Done Quick. So it is a Games Done Quick event, but it is only femme identifying speedrunners, and also on the volunteer staff as well as all femme. So very, very great event that GDQ puts on twice a year, as well as the main events, I guess we would call them. So definitely check that out. Yep. And if I could just sneak in a quick plug for another event as well. So I mentioned earlier, I run an event that we do an event in support of Trans Lifeline. That is going to be the weekend before Thanksgiving. I believe it is November 21st through the 24th. And that is done by the Fastest Furs speedrunning community, which is at Fastest Furs on a lot of places, and twitch.tv/fastestfurs. So if you want another speedrunning event in support of Trans Lifeline that I personally organize, you can check that out. It's a good
Nice.
time.
Heck yes.
All right, so we're in the factory now. Oh, and I just fell.
Oh.
That's okay.
Boing.
No biggie. Yeah, I think another thing, as we get into the countdown fight, this is a fun boss. I like this boss.
Yeah, I like this
actually.
boss, yeah.
It's a really cool boss. Another thing that I just kind of want to mention with regards to speedrunning events is I think occasionally, and maybe it's because we just sit here and break the games a lot, I don't know. I think that it gets lost a lot of times that speedrunners are some of the most passionate folks about the games that they run that you will ever find out there. They are the super fans. And so I think if you care about video games and you care about game development, speedrunning is a great way to indulge in that a little bit. I was actually having a conversation recently with another GDQ staff member, and I was trying to make the argument to him, and y'all can back me up on this. Tell me if you think I'm barking up the right tree here, but I think there's a certain percentage of people who watch Games Done Quick almost as like a film festival. And what I mean by that is they want to get a taste of a lot of the games that have come out recently and sort of what they're all about, and sort of get a glimpse of some games that maybe they didn't get a chance to play them personally, but they've heard about them and they're curious about them. So that's part of my theory for why people watch GDQ, and I do think GDQ does a pretty good job of featuring a lot of new games, not just for speedruns that people haven't seen before, but just strictly for video games that people haven't seen before. So
That's very much for me. I enjoy watching games that I'm curious about, but maybe haven't had a chance to play. And it goes by really fast as well,
It does.
because obviously they're running through it fast.
and we typically don't spoiler things too badly,
Yeah.
which is also nice.
I do want to mention, it looks like we've got another donation match going on in the Tiltify right now. Drew RWX is putting up another donation match. So if you donate right now, anything you donate will be matched by Drew RWX. So if you want to really
Dang.
push us towards that 20K, this is the time to do so. Maybe if you haven't put that $20 in yet for the PlayStation raffle, you got time still to do that.
That was the wrong spot. I will also mention I am probably about maybe at most 10 minutes from fighting Kulex. So if you were wanting to see that specifically, I'll be doing that once I get to right before where I would fight Smithy. So we're not that far from the end here.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
You'd think you were playing fast or something.
Be faster if I stop getting into these encounters, but that's okay. This is the factory where all of the things are getting made that are sort of flooding into Mario's world. So you're gonna see a lot of the bosses and stuff, except they're like not painted yet. They're kind of like the mini models that you buy, and then you get. I don't know who's painting them, but you get to paint them yourself. So.
Like Warhammer 40K.
Actually, I'll just use that.
I do like the vibes of this. It reminds me of Kingdom Hearts in some ways.
Yeah. Alright, now we get these two, Cloaker and Domino. One is physical, one is magic. And then there's a second phase. You have to defeat one of them, and then in the second phase, there's a second boss, which is pretty cool. You won't see too much of that boss, unfortunately, assuming everything goes according to plan, but...
Shout out to everyone for morning flight tomorrow. Yeah, who's going to Gamescom here?
Not I. I will be in Los Angeles. I have a 5 a.m. flight.
Oh no.
Wait, 5 a.m. tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, Kat, you are a champion.
and I'm going to Los Angeles, and on Tuesday I will be on IGN's opening night live post show. That'll be around 11 a.m. Pacific, or after the show's over. It'll be like a 2-hour show, so tune in to IGN.com. Not that they need my promotion, but you understand. It's my day job.
Thank you for reminding me that opening night live is this week. I
Sure is coming up
completely
fast,
spaced
isn't
out
it?
now. Yeah, that
Yeah.
opening night live is like the groundhog emerging from the ground of, the fall releases are here. It's time for the fall of video games.
It's time for fall of video games.
Hearing, honestly, I'm kind of curious about Star Wars Outlaws, but Echoes of Wisdom, Metaphor, and Dragon Age are like 3 very solid holiday games for me.
Yeah, it's Emio the Smiling Man for me, and then Demon School is pretty soon too, and then Dragon Age and Metaphor.
I'm going to be mainlining Metaphor when that comes out. I'm very excited for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Persona 5 is the game that got me back into JRPGs when that came out.
Nice.
So that is... Looking forward to see what they do in a slightly different environment with a slightly different palette, and everything I've seen so far is that game just looks fantastic. So
Yeah, same. Bart, there's a 4 in the morning now? Yeah, I'm exhausted.
I live in Fargo, North Dakota, so pretty much all of my flights have to leave that early in the morning because I always have to go connect somewhere else. So it's one of those things, but it's not the worst. I live like 5 minutes from the airport, so that helps.
Oh, that's okay.
Blaze, I was born in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh my gosh, even more origin story. Well, and I think I grew up in the Twin Cities, and I've lived here since 2011, but I think we've got a little connection there as well about growing up in the Twin Cities. Cat.
Minnesota, 6 degrees of Minnesota right there.
Yep.
We have ourselves a $10 donation from John Carson saying, "We need the Sakaguchi quest. Thank you so much for putting this event together and raising money for a wonderful charity." And Anonymous also submits a $25 donation. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, how much more is needed for the Sakaguchi quest?
Oh, the Sakaguchi quest is still about $3,400 off.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling everybody there's like 20 minutes left of the speedrun, so...
If y'all got it in ya, y'all got it in ya.
Time to go, yep.
If not, then I'll just, I promise to at least play random games by Sakaguchi. I'll put them all on like a dartboard, and I'll start throwing darts at it, and then that's the game I talk about that week. What is the oldest game that Sakaguchi worked on? Let's check. The Death Trap.
What was that for?
A text adventure developed and published by Square for the NEC PC 8801, the NEC PC 9801, and Fujitsu FM7 in 1984. It's the first game developed by Square, created before they were even an independent company. I think the one that most people will remember if you play FF14 is a Cruise Chaser Blasty.
Oh yeah, that was Nomura's first song too, I think.
Yeah, immortalized.
That's not Nomura.
In Final Fantasy 14.
Forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, and put one foot forward.
I love that they're fighting Meta Knight right now. Or Shovel Knight. Take your pick.
In his place.
We're gonna give
Legally
Peach a little bit
distinct
of
Shovel
action
Knight.
here.
Aw, sheepy.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep a couple of the bosses in this area because they like to counterattack, and it's very annoying.
So they don't wake up on attack. Huh.
They don't wake up on magic attacks. If I punch them, they will wake up, just like in real life.
Wait, jump does not count for that? Jump is magic?
No, jump is magic.
Jump is magic.
Jump is Mario magic.
But punch is hit, and jump is magic.
Punch is a punch.
That's crazy.
It's feeder magic.
Feeder magic.
Yeah, it's got feet magic.
We were watching, some friends and I were doing a little TikTok theater last night, sharing some funny TikToks that we found, and one of them was just somebody playing Baba is you, and it was them going like, but door is shut, and key is weak, and Baba is you, but you is key, and it was just like, oh, man. That's a good game right there. Baba is you. Is it an RPG? Let's find out.
No, but I do like it a lot.
What if there was a Baba is you style RPG where you were changing if-then commands to, like, alter the function of your party members in battle? You know? Did I just engineer the job system? Possibly.
Yes.
I love that.
Baba is you destroy the way you speak, yeah. Yeah, y'all are right. That's the Gambit system. 3 different people at the same time all said that's just the Gambit system. Once again, reminding me I do need to play FF12 at some point. Is that old enough to count for our Sunday streams?
Yes.
I would think so. God, PlayStation 2?
It's,
Yeah.
it's more than... It's 20 years old at this point. It's about... It had just come out in Japan when I moved to Japan in 2006. Which is... So it's not that far off from Final Fantasy X, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that was like right in that window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Alright,
why
I bought Final Fantasy 12, even though I didn't, my Japanese wasn't really good enough to play it, just so that I could say I had it. I was like, I am playing Final Fantasy 12 early.
Are we going
That
to go
was a
see
big deal.
Culex now?
Yeah, it's time to fight Culex now, so I have to
trying
go
Go ahead.
I have to go buy some fireworks so I can get a shiny stone to go fight Culex, because
From
that's
a
how this
child.
game works. Yeah, from a child. I'm gonna give a child fireworks.
So we can go fight a boss.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why I didn't play Final Fantasy 12 because I love 10. 11 was an MMO, that was obvious. And then 13, I did like buy 13 when it came out and play it. I think I didn't play Final Fantasy 12 when it came out because at that point, I think I was going into high school, and that was very early in my phase of like, I need to act like I'm cooler than this. I need to not be a nerd in high school. Retroactively, turns out being a nerd can be a fulfilling professional career. So I was pretty wrong about that one. But yeah, this is one of those games that just slipped me by. I don't know how I missed it.
I am not a big Final Fantasy 12 fan, but it's probably worth a play.
Wait, no, not that. That's the pixel art.
This is the
It's very
pixel.
Chrono Trigger.
This is the original Culex, yeah.
Whoa.
There's also a 3D Culex, but we're going to be fighting the
That's
original.
cool. I really like that.
This was a really fun fight to do as a kid. Just really satisfying.
Tell us more about Culex.
He is big and scary, and he's probably going to kill everybody except Mario. But we'll see. He's gonna summon 4 elemental crystals. There is a... Eric, did you finish Chained Echoes?
Did I finish Chained Echoes? No.
Yeah.
I think that is on my list of games that I got to the very end of and then did not finish. I was somewhere in like a temple or shrine or something, and I was definitely learning something very important, and I stopped playing because I do that.
Okay, so you were probably getting close. There is... The only reason I mentioned that is there is a boss that is an homage to Culex in Chained Echoes.
Okay.
I love that.
But it is not nearly as difficult as this fight is, so it's not the same thing, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah, I think when I did this fight as a kid, I stocked up on rock candy, because that always does 200, no matter what.
Yeah, that is definitely helpful. Oh, Gino died. That's fine.
So what is the mechanic here that we're dealing with? Because we got these 4 different colored crystals. I imagine that is an important part of this fight.
Yeah, they basically all represent a different element,
Hmm.
and so they're gonna do a certain amount of pretty tough attacks. Start using rock candies here, and I'm just trying to push damage, to be honest, because but you kind of get to see all the stuff that Culex is capable of doing. He's going to do some different attacks himself. One of the interesting ones is there's an attack called Dark Star. Which
Yeah.
in the original... Oh, that was just... I should have blocked that. That's okay. Let's get Bowser in here. Let's go, Bowser.
Let's go, Bowser.
Let's go.
My favorite
This is a cool
Pokemon.
boss. I like that they
It's-
kept the original. I like that they kept the original pixel look. That was a really nice touch.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
what happened to Dark Star? What did they do to it? They nerfed it?
So anything that is well, it's actually true of a lot of the attacks in this fight. So anything that is a single target attack, you can block now.
Ah.
So
So you can block Dark Star?
Yeah, but like these flame stones, you can block a lot of stuff. You can block that you would not be able to have blocked in the original. So that helps quite a bit. Yeah, you just kind of got to chew through his hit points. I should be using rock candies with Bowser too, but that's okay. I'll do it next time. And I'm trying to hit my blocks. It's not that essential, but there's just a lot of different attacks coming at me here. Yeah, and then the Shredder attack basically gets rid of all my boosts, which is a pretty annoying thing that only a couple bosses in this game do, because it's kind of not cool when you, like, for example, you would, like, use an item to boost a character and then it just gets taken away. It's kind of unfair,
Yeah.
especially if you spent a lot of time getting the money or the resources or whatever that you need to do that, so. But, yeah, Peach is very good for this fight. I've been making sure that she has a ton of hit points for the entire run, pretty much, so that is very helpful at this point. Meteor Blast is not great. Yeah, there goes Bowser.
Oh.
As long as Peach stays up, I'm gonna be just fine. And let's bring... Which dead character do I want the most? Let's bring Gino back in. Just in case I get a chance to raise someone. It's kind of just fun to see the fight too. I think, especially this is a totally optional thing, so not everybody's gonna have seen this if they just played the game casually, for example. So. Yeah, because we have the super suit, it's not particularly scary. Yeah, there he goes. So.
Honey,
Excellent.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to show it off for everybody, just because it's a fun extra little thing to add, and y'all have been doing such a great job raising money for Trans Lifeline. So
Yay.
we'll bust out some bonus content for y'all, and I hope you enjoyed that. So
That was rad.
got the
That was pretty cool.
Final Fantasy victory music here too. Just the whole thing is Square. I think the joke is like Square snuck a Square boss into the Super Mario RPG game, but and then he even says when he comes out, he's like, "I'm from the other dimension." You know, how do you all have this form here? It's pretty funny. So, and then you can come back later. So they added like kind of like dark versions of all the bosses too. So there is a 3D QLX fight, but not gonna be doing that. It's still fun. If you want to do it, if you want to play the game and do that, you absolutely should. So, all right, let me get my party set back, and we will go finish this thing.
We got a few donations that came in during that. Anonymous gave $25, another Anonymous, no comment, $100. And then Zelicium said another few dollars, donating $5. From the Stranger of Paradise, could use a mini-map jar. Our strongest contingent. So we're finally going to get to see the big bad of the game, Smithy. And
This is a pretty good fight, I have to say.
Yeah, I like this fight.
It's a good skill test. It's a good challenge. It's a good kind of like final exam for all of the stuff that you've learned over the course of the game, and it's also
Observation. Yeah.
Yeah, observation, and you know, you might die once, but you'll probably learn something along the way that you can apply the next time. And yeah, just a good final boss fight, I would say, and amazing music as well. So
Oh yeah, music's fantastic.
sure you're listening to this one nice and loud. My main objective for the first part of the fight is I'm gonna want to get boosts on all of my characters so that they can survive kind of the scarier attacks. And then in the second phase, depending on what form he takes, I will do different attacks. But basically, he'll switch into one of, I think it's 4 different forms. And each one has a specific weakness, either elemental or like the magician head is weak to just physical attacks. So I'll just kind of be doing my best to exploit those and kind of get through the rest of the fight that way. And I also have my my gauge filled, so I should probably do that also. That seems good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this music is so good.
Isn't it though? So fantastic.
I think I'm gonna do this. I want to make sure Mallow gets through this fight because he is, again, I mentioned earlier, Mallow MVP of the run. He's going to be, even though he's not even wearing the super suit right now, he is going to be the character that is has the best damage potential for the second phase. So, got to make sure little Cloud Boy is safe and sound here. Okay, so that's the first phase.
He's all like mad.
Yeah, he's like, they're concerned about his blood pressure and also the structural integrity of this platform. Probably both valid things to be worried about, to be honest. So.
Oh my gosh. Flashback 2012 with a $500 donation saying, F it, final push.
Whoa.
Thanks, Drew, for the match. Great cause,
Yeah.
gang.
Dang.
How much?
We are
how close to
killing it.
20K?
How close to 20K? We are at 17,874 dollars, which is just shy of, just a little over 2K.
Fantastic.
Wild.
Y'all are nuts. Y'all are crazy. Celebratory. Lauding.
Crazy
y'all.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Positively.
Well, trans rights is a very important cause to be donating for, especially right now. So anything that you can give is very appreciated.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Especially right now.
The campaign's also going to stay up. I'm going to leave it up until probably sometime tomorrow afternoon, just because sometimes folks, you know, they hop on. Some folks try to do employer match. I've seen that before. So if y'all still end up watching this VOD later and want to donate the day after or something like that, this will be up for another like 24 hours afterwards. We're going to count the number that we officially announced tonight, but then it'll still be up for a little bit if y'all end up able to donate tomorrow or just want to share it around or something.
So I'm fighting the tank head here. The tank head is weak to Mario's jump attacks, which is this is pretty ideal, I would say. And you usually get the tank head first after that first phase. So if things go well enough, I might even defeat him before he gets to change forms again. We'll see. I haven't lost my chain yet, so I'm basically doing maximum damage, and I just got that again. This might
Do you
be
think this
enough.
is where Bowser got his army from Super Mario 3?
Leftover
You
parts
know?
from the factory.
That dude's
Oh,
head
he's
is
gonna
just a tank. It's crazy.
Alright, so we got Mage Head, but I don't think there's much left here. Yep, that's it. So, time for the timing rules of the run is after... Thankfully, not after the credits. That's the Super Nintendo timing rules, which is a little bit rough. The credits are very long. Time is just going to be after the fade to black, after Gino's last text box coming up here. So
Time
we're
will also
almost
be
done.
the cutoff for the PS5 raffle, so get those in if you want to get that in. $20.
Oh my
Minimum
gosh.
donation.
Oh, final chance.
We got about a minute, maybe a little less.
If
And
you're
then
fast.
Run.
if y'all want to keep the credits rolling while y'all do your wrap up, I think it is very fitting, but that is your call. So
Oh, no, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That mage head was scary. Sure was. Looked pregnant. It was weird.
it's very Lego-y. Yeah.
It is, right? There's an emperor, a Lego emperor underneath the cowl.
I will say that
Lego
the mage head is the one that can actually do the most damage to you if you're playing the
Yeah.
game casually. So be afraid of the mage head if you see it in the final fight. But I was very well prepared for that. So all right, there's your 7 stars. We did it.
We done
Again,
it.
I'm going to be getting out of the way for everybody after my part is done. So I just want to say thank you again so much to all of you for having me and for the awesome podcast and community and all of it. It is just, I'm so honored to be a part of this. And that is time.
Woo!
Congratulations. Nice run.
Congratulations.
One time and downloading the report.
Wow. Under less than 3 hours. That's incredible.
That was my hope, was to get us get it done in under 3 hours with the QLX fight. So I'm really glad that we were able to make that happen. And yeah, just I don't really want to shout myself out much, other than to say, you know, if you like speedruns and charity events and things like that, I hope you find me around, find me at a GDQ, find me at RPG Limit Break, or find me at an event like that at some point, and support speedrunners and support our fun little hobby, because we all care a lot about the games that we run, and it's something that we're very proud of and happy to share. So thanks again.
Thank you. Music
Thank
here is so
you.
good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm putting the names into the random name generator. It is going to pull a single name. I'm going to pull the camera down for this. We got to see this live.
See who we get.
Our random name, that was the last random name. Our random name is Da Geiger. D.A. Geiger. You have won the PS5. We will be contacting you through your email. Congratulations.
Way to go.
We'll probably use that
Thank you
same
so
one to
much.
draw. We'll use that same one to draw for some of the other physical stuff that we have from XP Share. Do we want to do that right now?
Sure.
All right, here, I'm gonna get a little pen and paper here so I don't forget who our winners are.
We also have the Unicorn Overlord Collector's Edition.
Ooh. I have everything but a pen right here.
This is the one. We're giving this away.
All right, we have, that was the PS5. Goes to Da Geiger. All right, so what else do we have? We have the UO CE. We have our vinyls. Are we putting that all together?
No, each one different.
All right, Celeste vinyl.
Breath of the Fire. Breath of
of
Fire
Fire.
2 vinyl. A Ghibli
read that
vinyl.
one.
And
Yeah.
a Ghibli one.
A Princess Mononoke vinyl.
All right, we had a Baldur's Gate, right? as well, a Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. We did,
Uh-huh.
yes.
All right. All right, so we've got a PS5. We've already did that. The Unicorn Overlord Collector's Edition, Celeste, BOF2, and Ghibli vinyls, and the BG3 Collector's Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll.
All right.
The winner for the Unicorn Overlord Collector's Edition is Hatching Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations if you're in chat.
Thank you, Hatching Phoenix.
And remember, you don't
Congrats.
have to be in chat to grab these. We're going to be sending emails and stuff like that. Don't worry.
We'll be
about it.
reaching out to you.
The next
winner
of the Celeste vinyl is Un. UN. Un.
Go on.
Shout outs to Un. The next winner of the Breath of Fire 2 vinyl, which I believe has commentary from you, Nadia. Is that true?
I wrote the words, yeah.
You will have Nadia's words if your name is Melted Walkman.
Melted Walkman.
Great name. Things that happen when you put your Walkman in the car for too long.
The Ghibli
I
vinyl
love this
goes
ending.
to... Oh, my lord. Robo Riley.
Robo Riley.
Oh,
Yay.
congratulations. Yay.
Congratulations. And the Baldur's Gate 3 Collector's Edition goes to... Can't win twice, sorry.
Yeah.
Goes to Lur. L-E-R. Lur.
Hey, Lur won
Lur.
something. Yeah.
Heck yes. We will be emailing
Omicron
folks,
Persei 8.
getting in contact, sending those your way. Let me adjust the desktop capture a little bit here, so we can do our big
I love what they
goodbye.
did with the ending for this game, by the way, with the parade.
Like most of the other things about the remake, I feel like they nailed the spirit of it. They understood the
Yeah, they did.
assignment, shall we say.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. That it? We
That
done?
is
I think we're it. I'm so tired.
Oh my gosh. We've been in another Axe of the Blood God charity stream is in the books. What an incredible ride. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you so much for your incredible support. Support Axe of the Blood God. Support trans rights. Support your local speedrunners. We'll be back, as always, next week on twitch.tv/bloodgodpod. Look forward to all of the content and me talking about Final Fantasy XIV and all that jazz. It'll be a great time. Thank you so much. One last time.
Yeah,
Anything else?
I just want to say I can't express enough how much it amazes me the way y'all show up every year for this. It means the world to us. It means the world to this community. It means the world to the folks out there who it helps and supports. So thank you so much. This is something that every year I think we go through the 5 phases of getting really excited to do this, getting into the nitty-gritty of putting it all together, just weeks and weeks of talking to people, getting people in the room, figuring out what we're going to do, what we can do that's different from last year, what's new, what's fresh, how do we get new voices on. We had so many new voices this year that we haven't had on Blood God before. It was so exciting. And all of it came together, and it would be... It really comes together because of the enthusiasm that y'all have. It really gets us through all of this. If you can't tell, I'm very tired and trying to get through my words right now. But like,
We're all really loopy.
we do it for y'all. We do it for Trans Lifeline. We do it for a good cause, and we do it for making this world a little bit, better. Leave it a better place
A
than
little
we entered
brighter.
it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Over 18K. I never would have expected that in my wildest dreams. And I know the Sakaguchi quest was up there at 20K. We always love
That's
to put
next
one
year.
way up. Yeah, we love to put one way up there at the crazy high level. And somehow we came within spitting distance of it. Something I never thought we'd get close to.
Wow.
So
We
like,
got so close.
y'all.
Next year, we're definitely cracking 20K.
I think so. I think it's time.
One step at a
One
time.
thing at a time.
For now, I think a cold beverage is in my future, and then a bed immediately after it. So,
That sounds good.
unless we have anything else, Moonblaze, thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
That was
You're an
great.
incredible
It
runner.
was
Fun
And
run.
a great contribution to this community. You're excellent.
Absolutely. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks again.
Nadia, Kat, let's close this thing out. Let's do it with our intro stinger. Y'all have seen Samantha Barrett all weekend. Y'all have seen our little axe swing. Let's do it with one more axe to the Blood God punch here to our ending screen, and we'll see y'all next Saturday.